You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent Austen Show.
Jacksonville Jaguars reporting we have completed an interview with Liam Coen for our head coach vacancy. Transparency, Hamby. It's something, isn't it?
Smells good.
Do we know how long the interview? I mean, let's be super transparent. How long was the interview? Where was the interview? Probably online, obviously. What was talked about? Who was all there? I mean, if you want to be super transparent, but no, they have completed. Are you a fan of this whole, like, hey, we completed the interview?
I mean, I guess it's more information for us.
I mean, yeah, it's something to talk about, but, like, obviously. Like, I'd love to see, like, if the Jaguars someone, like, posted, like, it was Liam Coen, like, we didn't finish the interview with Liam Coen. He left early. Or, like, we didn't even get to Liam Coen because we already got another guy. You know, like, be honest. But, hey, transparency is key. What's up, everybody? It's good to be back in the studio. It's been a little bit for me. Hopefully I remember how to do this whole thing live and in living color. Brent will be here momentarily. Hamby, before we get to, because obviously coaching is kind of the big story around here, and we're going to talk about, I think, Kellen Moore today is the guy on our list. Spoiler alert, I don't think he's coming to Jacksonville, but let's take a look at him. Let's see what he has to offer. But before we get into that, Hamby, how old are you?
24.
But you're definitely an old soul. Let me ask you this. If your car battery died in the parking lot and you had to jump it, could you do it?
Yes.
Honestly, you could do it?
Yes.
Okay. If your tire, like, blew out and you had to change a tire, put a spare on, could you do it?
I would have to look up multiple. It would take me forever. Like, no.
So, I mean, but I'm saying, like, without YouTube.
No, then no.
Okay, so this is what I encountered this morning at the gym. Still getting it in, man. We're in fight camp.
Let's go.
We do what we got to do. There was a young, and I was a little surprised. Like, I figured he was in high school, but must have been out of high school. But definitely a young kid. Right, and he seemed to be having some problems, and it was the car battery, right? Maybe the cold temperatures. I don't know what the case may be, but the car wasn't, working properly. And I go up to him like, "Hey, man, everything cool?" He's like, "Yeah, my car won't start up." So I'm like, "All right, let me. I got a couple minutes here before I'm late to the show, so let me see what's going on." And he turns it over. Obviously, it's clicking. I figured, okay, it's either just a dead battery or an alternator. Which, hey, didn't want to break that bad news to him, but Let's try the battery. So I got jumper cables. I jump him, and through this whole process, the kid had zero idea what was going on, right? He was like, wait, so the red ones go to the black? And I'm like, no, hold on. You put the red part to the red part of your battery and the black part and the black part. Like, let's not get electrocuted here. So I kind of walked them through it. I'm just kind of teaching them on the spot. It was like a 5-minute TED Talk about batteries. But it got me on the topic because, I mean, my grandfather could, tear apart a whole engine, put it back together. Like, I grew up around that. So I can jump a car. I can change a tire. But what's something that didn't really get passed down to you besides changing a tire, Hamby, that you wish that you would learn? And I'll give an example real quick. I don't know how to write a check. I have no idea how to write a check. Now, I can Google it. I can go on YouTube. It'll take me 5 minutes. But, like, that was never passed down to me. What's something for you, Hamby? And Brent, feel free to join as well. But you're kind of more old school, so I feel like you kind of know how to do all these old things.
I know how to do everything.
There we go. Hammy, what do you got?
You know how to change your water filter at home?
Yes.
Without looking it up, though?
No.
Okay, there we go.
No, I don't want to steal your thunder, Hamby. I don't know how to do anything.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what the whole commercial was about.
I know. I don't really know how to do it. I genuinely don't know how to do anything. Like,
yeah.
But what would your? But I get what you're saying.
You can jump a car, right?
Yeah,
okay.
I had to do that a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
I had to do that a lot.
You could change a tire.
Yeah, but I never did, like, by myself, like, on the side of a road, change a tire. Like, I've never had to do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I know, like, I guess I've been kind of told how to do that.
Yeah.
But I've never had to practice that. And one of the things, like, my mom always got us, like, AAA.
Yeah.
So we would always have, it was like every Christmas we got AAA.
Yep.
That was one of the gifts.
Yeah.
It was like she didn't want us on the side of the road because she would
That's a
hear
great
like
gift.
those stories of
It's
people
the
like
gift that
changing a
keeps on
tire
giving.
and getting hit or something like that.
Sure.
But that's a great question though. But because I'm guilty of it with our kids.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm totally because I'm not that handy. I'm not
And
handy.
you
Not
didn't
even
pass-
that handy. I'm just not handy.
And you didn't pass anything down to them, did you?
Not enough. No,
Yeah.
I mean, probably some things more than I know, but
Mm-hmm.
I call the neighbors when I need something. Like both of my neighbors, a couple of my neighbors that we know. I mean, they are like handy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And the one thing that I won't do is like change anything. I won't even mess with anything electrical.
Yeah.
Because
for
I am
sure.
not
Yeah.
doing that. We had a couple fires in my house growing up. And so like you get kind of scarred by that. And you're like, my mom talked about that a lot. And so she was always paranoid about it.
Yep.
And so that's kind of made me paranoid a little bit about it. And I'm like, I'm not doing something that's going to like light this place on fire. Because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Although YouTube certainly can help.
Yep.
Hamby, what's your answer?
Yeah, I think like I almost feel like I don't know if this is common enough.
It's a great question.
Woodworking, anything like building, like being able to. I just didn't do much of that.
I mean, could you?
But that's more crafty. Like,
Yeah,
you don't have to
yeah.
woodwork. You don't have to build a desk.
Correct.
Or a chair.
Yep.
Or like that's more a hobby.
Yes.
I would just say.
Yeah, I mean that's not like necessarily like a
Do
necessity.
you know how to change the fire alarm, smoke alarm?
No.
You should learn.
Hamby, that's okay. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about, Brent. These generation, these kids
You
got
need to
know.
learn.
Hamby, do you know how to swim?
Yes.
Brent, you know how to swim, obviously. Okay, because I'm going through a list here.
Do you know how to ride a bike?
Yes.
So I went through, it's lifehack.org, 54 things that everyone needs to know, and if you don't, you missed out on life. Change a tire. Well, Hamby doesn't know how to do that. Jumpstart a car. We just went over that. How to code. I don't know how to code. How to code?
All right, this list is bogus.
Yeah, forget it. How to build a website.
How to build a website
Know how
came
to
up. I
think
mean, come on.
Yeah.
How to use a website.
How to, okay,
Like-
how to cook an egg properly.
Okay. How about that? Cook. Did you have that? Did you have home ec in school?
We did have homework.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we still did have that too. Like I had woodworking,
What-
metals, and cooking.
Yeah, see, I think we called it FACE. I forgot what FACE stood for.
Okay.
But it was like your basic everyday like homemaker kind of things.
I should
But
bring
once
in the-
again, didn't tell me how to write a check. Didn't tell me credit. Didn't tell me any of this
I
stuff.
know.
That's what I got all that stuff.
Okay.
The
Look,
finance.
where did you
But I
get
can make a
that?
custard
My
like
mom's
you wouldn't
good at it.
believe.
My mom.
Oh, so your parents passed that
Yeah,
down.
she's an accountant.
See, like the check stuff, I think my parents did too. I feel like, but I also felt like at one point or another there was a class on that or something. And even now, I write more checks now, and I'm like, I think I did that wrong. I put like an extra "and" in there or something.
yeah.
Like because it's not practiced so much. But like the balance in the checkbook stuff, now you just don't have to do any of that.
File taxes is what. Someone's got that in the chat too. File taxes.
It's a good one. I don't. I've done it before, way back in the day when it was so simple. But now I don't even touch it because I don't want to be responsible for it.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay $100.
I'm on YouTube looking that up.
So you do your own?
I do my own, but it takes me a while, Brent. Perform CPR.
Yeah, I've taken a class
Yeah.
on that. Now I
I
probably
don't
should
know
be
how to-
updated on that. But I swam a lot.
Brent's gonna crack someone's rib or something.
Well, there is something to that. Like you've got to
Yeah.
do it right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But I think I have enough. I've either watched enough shows where I see it happening that it gets reminded. Okay, that's how I remember.
Yeah.
But I do remember taking a class on that because you never had to take a class of some kind on that. Whether it was, I don't know, whatever. I can't remember what I was in. I don't know if
Yeah.
I did that because I swam. Like I swam a lot as a kid.
Sure.
So I'm
Yeah.
not sure if that was part of the, passing of some test, like a deep end test or something like that.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
And Hamby, I'm sure because being a coach, you have to know how to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to, right? You have to take a training on that?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one to know, by the way.
Ryan Williams, right cursive. I think we're all set. I don't think cursive
a
was
lost
really.
art.
I mean, listen, I'm impressed with that. I can still write some cursive, you know what I'm saying? Some old school English or whatever, but kind of pointless though, right?
Can y'all change your own headlights?
No.
I've never had to.
I can do that. I learned how to do it a couple, like 2 months ago.
That can't be hard. I mean, I'd probably break something in the process.
Yeah.
Because like I wouldn't be like, get this. Yeah.
I had so many car issues.
Dude, this is a good. We got people going crazy in the chat. I like it. Hey,
How many times
Jimmy
was,
Popcorn.
Jimmy Popcorn.
Hey,
been
Jimmy
divorced?
Popcorn, man. I'm with you, dude.
First time I've seen his name in the chat.
I'm with you, man.
Jimmy Popcorn's on number 4.
Yeah, Jimmy Popcorn. I'm with you, dude. Man. Yeah.
I had so many car problems as a kid. Like it would overheat. There were,
Yeah.
growing up north, like our kids don't have to do anything. Like you talk about jumping a car.
I've had a million problems too.
Have you?
Yeah.
And I mean, every car I owned had issues at some point or another, and most of it because it felt like all the time it happened in the winter.
Yep.
Right. And now I mean it feels like it happened. I think cars in general. I know like I got Nimnik Buick GMC. I've got 135,000 miles on this truck, and I'm like I used to way back, but like I like that warranty. So I'd shuffle through the cars quicker because I want that warranty because I don't want anything going on.
Yeah.
And like you still want the warranty, but at the same time, I remember like my older cars, even back when I was living in Albany, this would be 20 years ago, we'd get to like 95,000 miles or 90,000 miles, and it felt like all of a sudden you were in the shop all the time.
Sure. Yeah.
And now, like cars don't do. I mean, now I don't even think that's a thing. Like knock on wood, no issues at 135,000, but I feel like I could drive this sucker until 200 plus.
Oh, dude. I mean, I'm at 185 right now in my Cadillac, and still going
You've had
strong.
that thing for as long as I've known you. How many?
2000. I got that in 2014 because I had my Escalade truck, and that wasn't really gonna work with my son. Trying to get him because it was like raised and everything.
Yeah.
So then I went total dad mode and got a station wagon, a sport wagon.
Have you had to do a lot of work on it? At 180,000
Not too much. I mean,
that's
I've been trying to maintain it. You know what I'm saying? And I've been trying to what do they call like a certain amount of miles you got to take it in for like the tune-ups and stuff.
By the way, Kim's Corner, who hasn't been on the show in a while because Hamby's been here.
Just saw her in the parking lot.
She was fixing her She's always fixing her car.
Yeah.
Like she does it. She changes her oil. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, you always have that hood open every time I come in. And she's like, yesterday or 2 days ago, she's like, yeah, I'm waiting for an alternator to come in.
Yeah, she's going to put her own alternator
put an alternator in?
Yeah, man. Kim Possible, making it possible.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
Yeah.
I would not be doing that.
For sure.
It's a great question. We have to come up with more of those, though.
Oh, yeah.
Life
There's
hacks
a lot of things
that I have not taught my kids, but now they can go look on YouTube.
There's got to be like a class, right? Like that you can teach kids. Because listen, we think like high school or like grade school does this. It doesn't. Okay, there's too much technology now. Kids are learning other kind of things. Like we need to develop a class where it's like, hey, you guys need to learn these things to be like a real world adult.
Absolutely, 235,000 miles. By the way, that's impressive. Before you had problems, So there are.
Bro.
Why do I think that clear browser history has a direct correlation to trying to handle a marriage? Just saying. All right, go ahead, Brent. Sorry.
Yeah, Delphonic 175. Pay that sucker off. You got it.
Yeah.
You're good. You'll be looking for a Nimnik Buick GMC new car in a little bit. So you know where to go, Phillips Highway or NimnikBuickGMC.com. But tell them I sent you. You mentioned there's a class on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a class on that kind of stuff, but there are classes for like etiquette. Like I know people that do like take their teenage boys or whatever to etiquette of how to sit at a table or do that stuff or whether it's just the please and thank yous of the world.
It's called the military. Yep.
No,
I'm kidding.
But there are classes for that. And you're like, are you ever going to need that? But think about it. If you've ever been, and Hamby's young, if you've ever, I don't know, in the NFL, if you've ever been at a dinner where it's a little bit more fancy or you're at an event and you're like, what the hell does this fork do?
Yeah, no.
Like, what is this? Which one am I? I still do it, man.
Yeah.
You go to some of these things. I mean, we were at the, I'll brag a little bit or drop some. We're at Tower of London. One of the first years the Jags are in London.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there with all the Jags people, but other people. Like, I don't even know who half the people are.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a really cool thing. And I'm like, how do I sit? Where do I put my napkin? Like, it's not a napkin at that stage, probably.
Yeah.
What are these things?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, it's not a bad idea to at least have knowledge of it. And I think more and more people, we've been screaming, everybody, it's not like me, but I think everybody's been screaming for like 401k, balance a checkbook, like don't get credit card debt, like those kind of classes for a long time in our school systems. And for whatever reason, we haven't had them, but I feel like they're turning more toward that. I feel like I hear more about those like financial literacy kind of class. High School 912 that we've partnered up with, they do some of that too.
Yeah.
But I don't know of one, and I'm probably missing one, of stuff like life hacks.
Yeah. Just
right?
basic common things that you should probably know.
That'd be a great Saturday morning class to send your kid to.
I think we got something, Brent. A little workshop.
Yeah, except I can't teach it.
So I'm gonna have to literally go online and look up all these things to
Let's
teach
go
to the
partner
kids.
up with somebody and create a Saturday morning school for them.
Yeah. I mean, we can do a little bit of everything. Like, I can teach them how to throw a jab properly and then throw a cross. Then we can. I mean, so it's like a physical thing. Self-defense. Then like taxes and all, like financial. So here it is.
One-stop shop.
Self-defense, financial, probably like relationships, right? That's gonna be more you because you've been married for a long time.
Jimmy Popcorn sure is.
Jimmy Popcorn ain't gonna be that one. So we got self-defense, we got financial, relationships. What else am I missing? Anything else? I guess like
automotive care.
Automotive care. Anything else?
We should probably throw in
Changing a smoke detector.
well,
Yeah.
no, I'm saying
Home appliance.
Yeah, home
like
safety.
mowing the grass, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You
Everybody
can do that. Yeah. You got all these things.
All right, let me go make
Write
these
it
notes
down.
down.
I'll
Yep,
teach
got it.
that.
We'll partner up.
Yep.
Sounds like a $1 million idea. You bet. Where do you even shop if you're a billionaire? We have no idea. Okay. I don't think
Amazon?
You shop.
I don't know. Yeah, you're not shopping.
I don't think you shop.
Those are questions that you don't ask when you're a billionaire.
I would.
It just shows up.
That would be a fascinating. I've thought about this before because I've sat down with Shad Khan and had some conversations with him, and it would be. I never get to the point where it's as casual as, how do you learn to become a billionaire?
Yeah.
Right. This guy came from nothing. Like along the way, how do you learn to kind of mingle and live the life that those folks live?
For sure.
And he's been doing it for a while now. So, I mean, that's easy to say now, but how do you even, I don't know. I always think the fascinating thing, like we'll go meet Shad sometime in this real, it's got to be crazy expensive hotel, right? And per night in London. And that's where we'll do the interviews. And my thing that always strikes me, I always say this to the guys. It's like, so we're walking in there with equipment, right? And we look like we got Action Sports Jax on. We look like we don't belong. But it's a nice place. It's fine, but obviously. And no matter what time of day, there's like this furniture, this like the chandeliers, the everything looks like it costs $1 billion.
Yeah.
And you just see these people walking in and they got like sweatpants on. They got like sweatpants on. They look like, not everybody, but like you'll see, it doesn't matter what time you're in there, you'll see somebody that looks like, almost like they just walked off the street.
No, for sure.
And it's like, that's what a billionaire can do. Walk into this place and can look however it looks like he's in my living room.
But no, for sure, man. Like it's like the Steve Jobs effect. Like Steve Jobs, for being as rich as he was, never like blew your socks off with fashion.
Yeah.
Dude's rocking some New Balances, some acid wash jeans, and like a white
mock.
and a mock turtleneck. Like that's all it was, man. Like I guess it gets to the point where you get so rich that it doesn't even matter like how you appear, because I guess you're so secure with yourself.
I think so.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you're comfortable.
Yeah.
You don't have to look, but I mean, I think at some point you have to look the part. You have to show that you're like, there are some events you got to show that you're like,
dude,
look at Shad's shoes.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Shad?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if top up, like you'd be like, hey, that guy's one of the richest men in the world.
Sure.
Then look at his shoes.
Oh,
and you're like, that dude spent a lot on his shoes.
Yeah. Oh no, make no mistake about it. If I was a billionaire, like you think Cam Newton's aggressive, dude, you wait till you see like I will come out like the Monopoly man every single day. Just even going to like the airport, I'll be like all decked out in nines.
We had a story on Action Sports Jax this morning about luxury fruit. Special
about, like
strawberries
those kiwis
that are $2 a berry, and then a pineapple that has like special lighting and it's red and it's $400.
Special what? Lighting?
Lighting, I think. It's $400, and apparently there's 1,000 people on the wait list to buy it.
We've talked about this in the past. Like some rich person will buy this thing.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, why?
Yeah.
And you can kind of get the feel. It's like, because
A bread maker.
Yeah.
Right.
No, a toaster. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a bread maker. It was a toaster, you guys.
But it's because I can't. Hey, listen, even the kind of rich that we're talking about, that's not even like Trevor Lawrence rich. It's beyond that.
Yeah.
I still think it would be uncomfortable.
I do too.
I don't know. People
Being that rich?
Yeah.
How?
Because I guess it would be so foreign to like how I live. Like, you don't strike me like it would be comfortable.
No, but here's the thing.
You don't strike me as a guy that wants $5 billion.
No, but I mean, if I had $5 billion, no, I think here's the key, Brent. It's being a billionaire, but not being able to tell that you're a billionaire.
Right, that is a cool way to go.
Yeah.
I love being, but people they're like, man, that guy's got like $35 million and you can't even tell.
Exactly.
I appreciate that about
people. Yeah. And I think that's the key.
It is a cool thing. I think it's probably hard to do.
No, I mean,
what would your sign be? You know, you like if I
was a billionaire,
memes like if I hit the lottery, nobody would know, but there would be signs. It'd be like a guy using $100 bill as a bookmark or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need fancy cars. You know,
I'm not a car guy either.
Do you know what it would be? I would get my meal prep. So like when I bring my meals in, it would be from Ruth Chris. I would literally have my meal preps done from Ruth Chris.
Do they do that? So, if they don't, they're going to start.
I don't know if people want to afford that, man. We're talking like $80 for a tomahawk every day. I don't know. It's a little aggressive.
I don't know. That's a great question. Do you have one, Hamby? Do you know what it would be? Like, do you have like a? Like, I don't know if I would. Like, you wouldn't notice if I started to take once in a while. Took a private jet or chartered a plane. You know what I mean? Like,
you already have a backyard fireplace. We've seen you, Brent.
Yeah,
you're out there already.
I do think, like, I feel like one of my buys, if I had, like, and I'm not sure it would be if I actually had the money, would be, like, a really nice RV kind of thing, like, in some capacity.
Okay.
Whether it's the big one or now they make these smaller luxury, like, RVs.
Yeah.
That really, quite frankly, aren't, like, for a billionaire, aren't a lot of money. Like, you could actually buy it. Like, if normal people can, if they want to pay that much, but they could over 15 years or whatever like that. But I don't know. I don't think of, like, I'm not going to buy, like, the biggest house in the world. I want to downsize.
I mean, I don't want to call anybody out, Brent, but I probably wouldn't be flying, like, Spirit Airlines anymore.
No, I think you would. Nobody would notice that.
Put the TVs in the seats for me, man. I'm rolling big. Not first class. Don't need first class. It's all good. I'll sit in an exit row. But give me those TVs in the seats.
Yeah.
Come on now.
It's wild.
I think mine would mostly be food related too, like the small things.
Yeah, but people wouldn't notice that, right?
Yeah, not really, unless you like went.
Like, I'm not going. Like, the players get their
Wagyu ground beef, Hamby. You know how disrespectful that would be. You would get Wagyu ground beef, ground chuck Wagyu.
Ordered straight from.
Do you think it's a nice big old Wagyu, like, you know, grade whatever 20 steak, and then just grind it up and just eat it out of a cup? The most disrespectful thing a billionaire could do, but I like it, Hamby. I like that for you.
Isn't it a little surprising actually that a lot of the players, like this year, I saw more chains in the Jags locker room than ever before.
Louis Vuitton chains,
right?
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, Josh, Trayvon, who's approaching maybe a big contract, not even there yet. Who else comes to mind? I mean, even Brian Thomas Jr., he even talked about it. He had like new earrings in. He's got all his stuff, and he's like, that was part of his purchase, kind of like you talked about when you got the car.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a little, like, the players flaunt it a little bit. Like, you can tell when a player almost gets a contract.
My welcome to the NFL moment in terms of financial stuff was at the rookie symposium in San Diego. And this is back like when people didn't even really sign yet, right? So like you have the symposium, you go there, you learn about how to spend your money, how to make it in the NFL, and the whole time I'm just thinking like I got Joe Collins, so God help me, I'm just trying to survive a day. Let alone I got Michael Irvin telling me, hey, 5 years down the line when you're still in the league, I'm like, dude, let me just get through OTAs first. But I remember, you know, we were kind of like mingling, we were meeting like other teams and stuff. Joe Hayden. So Joe Hayden was a first-round pick out of Florida. I believe he went to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And I don't think he had been signed yet.
7th overall.
But he had a giant. And when I say a giant, like, remember we saw Deontay Wilder and we were impressed with his.
Oh, yeah.
Made Deontay Wilder's necklace that we saw at the Super Bowl, Brent, look like a candy necklace.
Really?
So Hayden, it was like a giant Florida Gator logo, and then underneath it said Gator Boy. And you know, obviously go up to him like, man, like, where'd you get that? He told us everything. He's like, how much was that? He's like, that's close to 100K. And I remember thinking, like, you didn't even sign your, like, I mean, yeah, you're going to sign a contract, obviously. You're going to make a lot of money, but, like, you're not even signed yet. Like, this is, like, must have been, like, loaned or something.
Must
but
be
it's
upfront
like,
money from the agent, right?
Damn.
Sometimes that will happen.
But I'm like, did you even buy a house yet? But the chain. But it was a cool chain. I was jealous.
It was a cool chain.
It was a really cool chain. I couldn't pull it off.
Look up Joe Hayden, see how he's doing. Let's just make sure he hasn't filed for bankruptcy, okay? I hope not.
Joe Hayden net worth?
Joe Hayden's a good dude. He was a good dude back in
cool.
the day when we knew him a little bit from those Gator days and stuff like that. So nice career, too.
Yeah.
Hey, Liam Coen, here's the latest on the Jags search. Now that we get to that, Liam.
Oh, yeah, sports. That's right, Brent. Sorry. That's right.
Yeah. Good topic to get into it. Welcome back. Liam Coen interviews late last night. I think it actually started late in the afternoon. They just didn't push it out till last night, so there was a little fun there of why did they push it out so late? There's the Hayden chain, I'm assuming.
Maybe that's the one.
That is a young Hayden right there, so you might have found
that might be it. Yeah.
The Jags are having Todd Monken today. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, it looks like, I think it's Flores and Brady on Saturday, I think is reported. Are some of those reported? I think they're all been reported about what's going on the next few days.
Okay.
So that means the Jags will get through all 10. And the first round will be done.
Yep.
And it doesn't seem like there's any mystery men right now. The McCarthys of the world, the Kingsburys of the world, not yet at least, that the Jags are going with. If it was a long interview with Coen, does it mean anything more? I mean, we don't really know the length of some of these meetings, but Coen actually now is not preparing for a game. Ben Johnson was, Aaron Glenn was. I don't know how long the Spagnuolo one was, but he would be preparing for a week of games coming up too. Does it say anything if it's a longer? We have no idea how long Salah's meeting went.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
think. And quite frankly, we don't know how long this one went either.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell, Brent, right? Because I really don't know the intricacies of these meetings. You know, I'm not sure what gets asked. It's almost like we should have a head coach come on sometime and maybe
tomorrow.
Oh yeah, but hey, I mean, do what now? What do we got tomorrow?
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Mike Mularkey's going to join us tomorrow.
Going to talk about the coaching process?
He's going to talk about what happens in an interview.
Say no more. There we go, man.
All right,
cool.
But you asked, I deliver.
Exactly. But no, I honestly, I don't know how much it says to it. Like, I will say this though: if I'm Ben Johnson, if I'm Aaron Glenn, like, yeah, you're obviously thankful for the opportunity, but man, I'm so focused on the task at hand here and playing Washington. It's almost like this opportunity's secondary, if you know what I mean. So I'm not sure in terms of how long the meetings take. You put a lot of stake into it just because I think guys' minds are elsewhere. Now, a guy like Coen, obviously he's got time to hang out and chill because, well, you're not playing.
Yeah, Whiskey Mills, California said, I don't know who reported that, by the way, but Shad moderated the Florida Forum, which I saw that he was doing that. I didn't know it was yesterday. I guess I didn't marry the dates together, and then did the Coen interview. So, again, the interview could have been a little bit later, right? So if that would have been maybe a 9:30 interview, and then you do these are on Zoom right now still. Coen was not in person, by the way. The only one that's been in person, as far as we know, is Saleh because he wasn't employed by a team. So that's why you can do that. How do you feel about Liam Coen? Like, where are you at? Because, you know, one other thing about all this. Ben Johnson is coming. Oh, wait, now he's going to the Raiders. It's slam dunk going to the Raiders, which I don't really believe. Or he's going to Chicago. He's definitely not getting them. People are freaking out. Liam Coen, he's going to be the guy. He's going to be Bulky's guy. Oh, wait a minute. I saw also that he would be able to, he'd be another guy that could get Bulky out of the way.
Sure.
Oh, wait a minute. Robert Saleh interviews on Tuesday, and he is the guy. Look at all the momentum for him. People are linking him to the job. Oh, it's got to be the guy. Who was it? Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn multiple times, I think, has been reported that he's going to be the Jags guy. And I mean, we just keep going back and forth. We have no idea. I don't believe him. I don't believe any of them. I don't believe that it's a slam dunk for Ben Johnson going to the Raiders. I think that might be the biggest BS going of all. Like, really? I just don't buy it. It's too heavy right now.
Ben Johnson to the Raiders?
Yeah.
It's rage bait.
It's so heavy.
It's rage bait.
Way too heavy. Yeah. It reeks of that ain't true, right? Somebody's really running with that. But I will say Ian Rappaport even said it too. Like, Ian Rappaport used strong words about the Raiders and Ben Johnson. So I don't know. But I know this, or I feel like I know this. I don't think this thing's close to being done. So I have no idea how anybody could feel a heavy certain way toward it getting it's a done deal one way or another.
No, I mean, like, I feel like once again we're talking about how we're doing college football rankings, you know, week 6, week 7, talking about how the playoffs going to shake out. We just kind of got to let it happen and see what it's going to be, because I think depending what happens with the Lions could be, like, for instance, let's say that the Lions go to the Super Bowl and maybe they win it. Do you think that's extra incentive then for Ben Johnson and for Aaron Glenn to say, okay, I mean, we won a Super Bowl here. What more is there to accomplish? Let's go try new things, Or if they get bounced out and in a big upset by Washington, maybe there's more reason like, well, hey, we didn't get our Super Bowl, so we got to come back now and finish the job. So I think that has something to do with it. And maybe we're talking about Brady, as a coaching. I mean, it's just a lot of hearsay right now. It's just a lot of people trying to make names for themselves. But until we have concrete evidence, it's hard to really label anything as, oh, yeah, this guy's going to go here, Brent.
Well, no, it's 100% that Ben Johnson's definitely going to pair up with Tom Brady, and then they're going to go get Arch Manning in the next year's draft, and it's going to be the pairing in the next, Belichick, Brady.
Listen,
it's 100% of a lock.
I'm not going to – I saw what happened when it was Byron Leftwich coming to Jacksonville, okay? It was in our own backyard.
Austin,
I saw it. I didn't say I didn't say anything about it, by the way. I'm just like, I'm going to wait for Brent to clarify. Well, it never happened, obviously. But this is the cautionary tale, right? And I think this is kind of the beauty now of being, whether you're on a national media or you're, local, or you're just some guy that's got a check mark. There's really no repercussions. So go ahead and put it out there. Go ahead and get some likes. Go ahead and get some retweets, and fingers crossed that it works out for you. And if it doesn't, don't forget about it in a year.
Ben Johnson is only interviewing with the Jacksonville Jaguars to drive his price up. The only places he's actually considering would ever be Chicago and Las Vegas.
But here's the thing, though, Han, because I think it works both ways, though. Right? We've talked about many times on this show that Jacksonville, and this is according to some national pundits too, is like the job. Right? It's like the most coveted job. And I don't necessarily believe in that narrative, though, either. I think it's up there, but I'm not ready to call and say, okay, well, it's going to be better than Chicago. It's going to be better than Las Vegas. I think each team, each city has something to offer. So, when people want to say, oh, yeah, Jacksonville's the shoo-in, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm actually sharing this. First of all, I don't think Jacksonville's a shoo-in, but I do think the job, it's been interesting to see, and you latch onto certain things that kind of fit hey, that feels good, right? And I forget, honestly, I can't remember where I'm seeing some of this stuff, and I apologize for that. So give you all credit, the national guys, Schefter, Rappaport, Jordan Schultz, if you want, Jeff Darlington, all of them. Whoever's saying anything, congrats to you, but I can't remember.
It's a lot to follow.
It is a lot. So, but there was something that did say, hey, the Jags' job is, around the league, people are saying the Jags' job is a coveted one, and there's reason to like it. And by the way, I would agree with that on a lot of different fronts. And now we've not necessarily debated, but we bring up, there's two sides to, let's just say, the Chicago job and the Jags job. They have a lot of things in common.
Sure.
Now, Jacksonville is not in common with Chicago in a lot of respects, but the GM is in place in Chicago. This one, the big differentiation from a job standpoint, GM in place, GM, maybe a movable object, right?
Yes.
So we can debate whether that's a good thing standing by my man, or, hey, you get
even open-ended.
You get to do what you want to do. Beauty in the eye of the beholder. But the bottom line is, those are the two places that have quarterbacks. Those are the two places that have rosters that have some players to work with that still need help. And then you've got all the other stuff. You've got, hey, Chicago, traditional, Hallis Hall. You've got Jacksonville, no state income tax, patient owner, all these different things. So we know what they are. But I do think it's interesting when you hear that, because I think it's true. Like we said right off the rip, it's not the fifth best job. The Jets' job comes with a lot of hurdles. The Saints' job is the worst job by all accounts. It's going to take the right fit there. The Raiders' job, and this is what I just shared. This is what I saw yesterday. And I honestly have not been all over social media the last few days, because the sentiment almost drives me nuts. That people think as soon as a report comes out, it's matter of fact.
Sure.
You can't take it and run with everything. But I did see this. Jeff Darlington said on ESPN, hey, Ben Johnson really covets this job in Jacksonville.
Okay.
Right? I think he said something. That was the report from Darlington. It's a job that people like. There's a lot to like. It doesn't mean he's coming here, but he covets this job. He really looks at this job as a good job. Then Rappaport, something last night I saw, and it was like, you would have thought he was signing with the Raiders today, the way Rappaport put it. And then I saw Schefter on a show, I think it was McAfee's show. It wasn't with Pat McAfee, it was with one of his other guys. And Schefter talked for 5 or 6 minutes at why the Raiders job sucks. It's like, yeah, Brady's great, but Like they're paying 4 GMs currently, or 4 coaches, including John Gruden currently, 3 GMs currently. There's no stability. They don't know who their quarterback is. Like, go boom, 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 which is obviously stuff that he's also getting from other agents and coaching agents. When you look at these jobs, like, that's a problem a little bit.
But what is it going to say, though? And it came from that beat reporter, too, from Las Vegas. I forgot his. Is
that Deshaun Reed?
No, Vinny something.
Victor Fur?
Yeah, Vinny something. He's essentially like you, but he's got more followers, so he's legit. Just saying. I mean, he's got like 60,000 followers, Brent. What do you got, 40?
42.
Okay, well, let's pump those numbers up a little bit.
All right.
But no, he came out and said that
I want to be like Vinny.
There's a lot of momentum building between Ben Johnson and the Raiders. So then I guess it leads us to the question, like, on paper, I don't see a lot from the Raiders. Yeah. You don't have a quarterback, right? You're turning everything over. But if Ben Johnson goes there, then what does it say?
I don't know what it says. I'm not going to be offended by anybody that goes anywhere. Okay, like they have choices. There's personal choices. There's professional choices. There's reasons. The thing that I think is kind of foolish right now, and this is why I'll say I don't believe it, and I could be wrong. I'll have egg on my face if I say it right now. I don't think he's going to the Raiders, and the reason why I'm going to tell you that I don't think he's going to the Raiders is because this is a guy that, at least from the outside looking in, I have no idea who Ben Johnson is, but from the outside looking in, hasn't he seemed very calculated in the process? The process last year. The reasons why, hey, I'm coming back to Detroit because I don't feel comfortable in all these other spots this time around. Okay, well, what about this year? I'm not going to go interview with the Jets or the Saints. I'm going to interview with the 4 teams that I think I would take that job. Well, now the Patriots are off. And the reason why he really came in late, it looks like, is respect out of Brady, that he was able to even get the interview with the Raiders, or he wouldn't even have taken the interview. And then there's a report, like he just met Tom Brady like a week and a half ago. It's not like they go way back. It's not like we're talking about Vrabel and potentially Brady. We're talking about Ben Johnson, who's been very calculated at the move he's making to set up for success, put me in a good position. I don't know how a man that thinks that way at 38 years old and has said those things in front of a microphone can take a look at the Raiders job and think that gives you the most success. Like that is a I don't know all the inner workings, but that is a leap, man. I think the Jets job's better than the Raiders job. The Patriots job was better than the Raiders job. The Bears job's better than the Raiders job, and the Jags job's better than the Raiders job. And so again, Tom Brady, great quarterback. Tom Brady, minority owner, doesn't get me to Las Vegas if I'm Ben Johnson calculating all the different things that are on my board of why I would go here, why I should go here, how I'm going to be successful. And then you can even add in, like Schefter did this in this commentary, like you want to go face Andy Reid and Jim Harbaugh and Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert and now Bo Nix and Sean Payton as well. I mean, it really doesn't make a lot of sense for a guy who's been so calculated to take that job over some of the other ones out there.
Yeah, but you know how I feel about it. I don't think that the division thing is that big of a deal. Honestly,
I think said that, but when people started to say that the league covets this, I thought it maybe carried more weight than you're giving it.
No.
We're going to ask Malarkey tomorrow.
Ask Malarkey tomorrow. I'd love to hear his opinion about it. But just the way I see it is like you're talking about NFL head coaches. These are the biggest egos of all egos. So you mean to tell me you're going to base your decision on, well, I think we can win, but I want to win in a division that doesn't have as many tough teams. Even though if we try to go to the Super Bowl one day, we got to play tough teams anyways. But like, I want to play less tough teams. Like, I don't. Losers think like that. Honestly.
I get it. I'm not sure he sees, but there's also some common sense into it, right? I mean, you want to win.
Yeah.
The easiest place to win right now is the AFC South. It might not be in 3 years.
No, that's a fact.
But the easiest place to win over the NFC North, which is Chicago, the Raiders, which is the West, and I mean, I would say even the Patriots job where Vrabel just went, the Saints, they just don't look. That's actually not a hard place to win that division, but it's just that they're a mess. I mean, from a divisional standpoint, the Saints might be the second best job. Might be one of the few things they have going in their favor.
Yeah.
So, and listen, I don't think it's the top of the list. I just think if you're going to factor in everything, in everything.
But like, if you're Vrabel though, like, do you really want to go to that division?
No, but it makes sense. Everything just adds up, right?
It makes sense because, like, yeah, he's got ties there.
Yeah.
But like, if you're really concerned about winning, then why? I mean, you've been in the AFC South, Vrabel. You know what it is. Then why would we even consider Jacksonville?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, Patriots were hands down. That was their number one guy.
Sure.
I wouldn't say that was the case here or even Chicago. They're interviewing a bunch of people. You don't know that you're the number one guy. And secondly, I wonder actually, even if the Jags were interested, if he would have a little bit of an issue with going from Tennessee to Jacksonville. I don't know that. I don't know how you'd feel about that, but I think some people would feel, yeah, let's go get it. And other people would feel like, you know what? I don't want to. I hated these guys.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Like I was trying to beat these guys. I don't know how people would feel about it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we have people now that go from the Red Sox to the Yankees, and it just is what it is. Mm-hmm. So let's do this. Take a time out and see where we're at with all that. We're getting a lot of comments. We'll get to some of the comments. Liam Coen is in. They're all interesting. They're all interesting. And I don't think we're close, folks. I just will say that. I'm going to continue to say that. I don't feel like we're anywhere close on this thing. Next week, we'll start to feel a little bit closer, but we got to get through Saturday and some of these first rounds of interviews. And again, Mike Mularkey is scheduled to join us tomorrow. I said to him, I was like, listen, we don't have to go viral this time. We just want to know some information about how he's interviewed for 10. He had 10 different interviews, I think he said, or 10 different teams.
Yeah.
And he even told me I think he turned down a few of them. But just be I've been covering this stuff for a long time, and honestly, I don't know exactly what goes on, and I think it probably changes from organization to organization.
Well, and also if you're a coach, what are you looking for?
Exactly.
Right? Like what are like your top priorities of this is what I'm looking for in an organization where I want to go to?
Absolutely. It'll be fascinating tomorrow around 11 o'clock. We'll have Mike Mularkey, but we're approaching 11 o'clock. We haven't even taken a break, so let's do that here on the Brent Austen Show. Hey, Urban Meyer to the College Football Hall of Fame. No surprise there. He's one of the greats of all time. Quite frankly, I know we don't like to say anything nice about Urban around here, but the bottom line is one of the greats of all time in college football, and it obviously could not transition into the NFL here in Jacksonville.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. And most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade. If you need a quality play this football season at your home, call That One Painter First Coast. Locally owned and operated, experienced employees, no builder-grade materials. And there's more, and for that, we throw it to Noah Schlicksup. That One Painter First Coast can apparently help your kicking game, too.
Well, after my failure on skinny sticks last year on Creekside game day, I've spent a lot of time out here at Creekside practicing my kicks. There's only one issue. How is that even possible? The good news is I know exactly who can help. That One Painter can handle all your painting needs, from field goal posts to cabinets to stucco. They got you covered. Though they may not be able to help with my kicking, they can certainly help with the posts. Call That One Painter First Coast today for all your painting needs at 904-495-1373.
'24 provided plenty of memorable moments for the Jacksonville Armada on the pitch, including another conference championship game appearance for Tommy Kruzanovich's under-23 men's team.
They sit in the dying moments.
Debuting this year for the first time, the girls in blue, as the Armada fielded a women's under-23 side in the WPSL and made its presence known with some highlight moments.
Potential goal of the season.
Then attention turned to the future, with MLS Next teams representing the Armada badge in 3 age divisions this fall, including an under-19 squad ranking among the best in the state. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
The UNF Ospreys back in action tonight. We'll be over there doing the play-by-play of that one on ESPN+. So looking forward to that for the first time this year. I get to matches the calendar. I'll be there tonight and Saturday at 2 p.m. So head on out to UNF Arena tonight for some basketball against Central Arkansas as the Ospreys try to get hot here now. They beat Bellarmine last week to finally get their first win of the ASUN campaign. We know they have a good squad, but they got off to a slow start, and now they got to try to go on a little bit of a run. What do you got? A little T-shirt? Free T-shirt for the first 500 UNF students. So there you go.
Nice.
So hopefully they give me one. Put one on my chair, please, Josh Baker, over there at UNF Arena, UNFOspreys.com, by the way, for more. And looking forward to that one tonight. ESPN Plus, the place to be if you want to watch some local hoops and you can't make it out. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Jason Abbey on a Thursday here on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. You were just asking me in the break, like we start to do this as well. Like, all right, who do you think? Who do you want? Who do you like? Who? And you just asked me something I think it's worth saying. How I don't know the answer to this fully. I think right now so many people are like Ben Johnson. Somebody asked me this yesterday, and they're like, well, who do you think? I was like, I honestly think right now, I think they're still going to get Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Like my thought is right now on Thursday, subject to change, but Thursday morning, yesterday, I'm still in. I don't believe all the smoke. I think if they want Ben Johnson, they'll make it work with Ben Johnson if he wants them.
Oh, yeah.
And so the parameters can move and slide, and we already know that. I think that's realistic. I just think that never happened in 2022 because a coach didn't carry that much leverage to move that. And I think it's not a mountain, by the way. So those are my thoughts. And some of those thoughts are based on logic. And logic doesn't always win here. I get that. But I think everybody writing off the Ben Johnson stuff is premature. I think the Raiders stuff is outlandish. And I could be totally wrong. I'm not telling you I have inside information on this. I don't pretend to do that. I'm just giving you my gut and my feeling right now. But you asked, what if Liam Coen's the guy? And listen, I say, hey, this would be funny. A Rhode Island guy. I think there's upside to Coen. I think there's something fresh about him and a little bit unknown about him that can also be scary. But I really don't have a good feel for what if they got Coen, how excited would the fan base be? I think they'd be excited because it's a new coach. I think they'd be excited because it's young offense. I think you could talk yourself into being excited about a lot of different things. Go watch his videos of stuff, his interviews, all these things. But I really don't know how over the moon people would be about it because I think he's still somewhat of an unknown commodity, and that's what's playing in my mind.
Yeah, I feel like when you talk about the coaching search, everyone has expectations of, I think it's tier 1, which is Ben Johnson.
Yeah, he's alone.
He's alone. And then I think below that, I think it's Glenn and Coen are below that. And then I think those are like the tier 2.
That's a good call.
And then tier 3 is kind of everybody else.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what it feels like. Again, this is total feel topic. Because what I said to you is, listen, I like Robert Saleh a lot. I think you could make the case that, hey, you look up in a few years and that guy's a really good coach in the NFL for somebody. I also feel like it would feel like a swing and a miss around here at people that you were trying to get and a settle. Now, I think you can do worse on settling with Robert Saleh is my point. But I don't think that would excite the fan base nearly as much as any of the 3 names that you just mentioned.
Correct, because we've seen what it looked like with Saleh a little bit.
A 20-36 record is tough to sell. You just fired a guy that was 22-29 or whatever the record was.
Yeah.
And he's got a Lombardi trophy. Like, are you really getting better? The one thing is we have no idea if Ben Johnson, Liam Coen are even better than Doug Peterson. In fact, I think it's a little bit of a mountain to find that out. But the one thing that we like about it is it's offensive. It's new. It's the hip thing. It helps Trevor Lawrence. If you get the Saleh hire or a Glenn hire, you don't have that part. And I think fans are looking for that part. Fans want to elevate Trevor Lawrence and light up the scoreboard. And whether these guys can do it or not, I don't know. But the feel is if you get them, you can.
Well, and there's got to be a worry too. Like say you get Glenn, right? Maybe you miss out on Ben Johnson, but you get Glenn. People are excited. All right, fantastic. Culture rebrand. Let's go. But you still got to pick an offensive coordinator. And then the issue with that, and this to me, I mean, listen, you know how I feel about bringing in a defensive-minded guy to turn things around, right? That's why I wanted Vrabel. But the con of doing that is then you bring in an offensive coordinator. Let's say he has monumental success right away with Trevor Lawrence. Let's say that you bring in an offensive coordinator and all of a sudden this Jaguars offense is top 10. Brian Thomas Jr. is eating. Trevor Lawrence is the man. What's going to happen? That offensive coordinator is going to go someplace else.
Absolutely.
Right? So
maybe got 2 years with him.
Maybe have 2 years.
If
more than likely 2 years if things go great. Yeah, for sure. But if you get a guy like Ben Johnson, if you get a guy like Liam Coen, you at least have that security blanket knowing where when they have success, well, they're the head coach. They're not going anywhere. You got them for life.
The other thing that's fascinating, Duval Jags just brought it up. Trevor said, young offensive guy. I think that was a slip of the tongue. He knows who the Jags are hiring, Ben, Liam, or Joe. I think it's really important to... This is the stuff that's... we love everybody because of this kind of stuff. Like, this is what's fun. But I said to somebody yesterday, I'm like, why are people running with this? He just said this last Thursday. He said the same exact thing last Thursday. And by the way, the interview that came out yesterday that the Jags pushed out a minute of, where Trevor said that, was done last Thursday before he had the press conference.
It was also a repeat of the press conference. He said the exact same thing, pretty much.
That's what I'm saying. He said the exact same thing. This was not new. They didn't interview him yesterday. They interviewed him on Thursday and just pushed some of the content out. And some people were like, maybe that was a little too much. No, that's great. Like, that's what he said in the news conference. Like, of course he wants an offensive guy. But
because
this
he was
is
wearing
what
the exact same outfit.
He was. Yeah, this is what I laugh at. And I love you, Duval Jags. He knows the Jags are hiring Ben, Liam, or Joe. No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, I think he also made that crystal clear. He's not in these interviews. Like, they had not interviewed Ben Johnson, Liam Coen, or Joe Brady, because they still haven't interviewed Joe Brady, when he did this interview. And he said those words. He has no idea. Now, he might have more of an idea now. How did the interview go with Ben? How did it go with Liam last night? Maybe they're keeping him in the loop. I mean, he doesn't know. And so this is where we jump to. And it's cool. It's fun. It's fine. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying this is our job to kind of pull it back in a little bit.
Yeah.
And be like, this is not just, listen, I think all what is said here, because Trevor wants it, is certainly a big part of the reason why those guys are high on their list and should be. I just want to make sure there's a distinction between high on the list and that's where this is going, That's two different things because you got to get a dance partner here.
Yeah.
So it's just funny how it works.
Not sure if you guys have seen, but we got some breaking news in baseball.
Oh,
You guys seen it or not?
Sasaki?
It's the trending topic right now. It's number 1 on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah. It's a sad one. It's a bummer.
Well,
90 years of age, Bob Uecker has passed away.
oh.
That's your dude.
That's my dude, man.
That's kind of everybody's dude.
I mean,
in a weird
it
way,
should
right?
be everyone's dude. Yeah,
That's
one
too
of
bad.
the best to ever do it. I mean, obviously lived a great and fulfilling life, but yeah.
How
Milwaukee
much of
Brewers
a
announced
legend
it.
is he up in Milwaukee?
He's everything, man. I mean, to put it like this, it's hard to put a price on nostalgia. I think we can buy a lot of things, but we can't buy nostalgia. And Bob Uecker, for me, and a lot of kids a lot of men now that are my age that grew up with him, he was the soundtrack to our childhoods.
Yeah.
Especially in the summertime. You know, riding in the truck with my grandpa, if there was a Brewers game on, we'd throw it on and you hear, Bob Uecker. You'd hear Bob Uecker in the backgrounds of grill outs, cookouts, parties. He was just always there. And I think obviously it's sad, but once again, he lived a fulfilling life, but it's one of those things where it's you always thought he would be there.
Yeah.
And not even necessarily pay attention to being in the moment. It's it's Bob Uecker. He's not going anywhere. The guy's an alien, if you will. So yeah, it's unfortunate, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when I think of Bob Uecker, and I think everybody feels this way, they smile.
Of course.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
he has that with you. I'm going to try to go down. Let's see, find more of Hamby probably doesn't know Bob Uecker well.
I
Right?
can definitely pick his voice out
Yeah,
immediately.
It's past the
But it's
20
past.
somethings, and probably a lot of folks that listen to us as well.
for
and not all, but a lot of people are just whatever. Why is Austin so sad?
Yeah.
90-year-old guy. Okay, lived a good life. But I mean, he was broadcasting Milwaukee Brewers baseball. Obviously, Austin's a fan of for over 50 years, but it's just so much deeper than that.
Major League, obviously, he got the role of a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, Major League. I mean, if you watch Major League, Bob Uecker's in that. But when I'm a kid, before I even knew, I didn't know he was doing Milwaukee Brewers broadcast because I know everybody else's broadcast.
Yep.
I watched Mr. Belvedere, and that's how I knew Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
Which is probably not the first thing on his resume.
No.
But that's, so he, I didn't know for a lot of my young adult life even, okay, what's Bob Uecker most known for? Was it the acting in the show or Major League? Was it, he was always on late show stuff? See, it's even mentioned with Johnny Carson.
Yep.
I remember seeing him, so is he a comedian and that's why he's on there? I mean, he had so many different hats.
Yeah.
But really, his biggest hat is as a broadcaster.
No, without a doubt.
Because you thought
Yeah.
he was a fictional character.
Correct.
Growing up from Rhode Island, watching this guy, but he was a true character.
Yeah, I mean, he was this folk hero, man. And the dude that you saw in Major League, he obviously the language, you couldn't say it, but the dude that you saw in Major League is what he brought every single time he called the Brewers game. And it was, listen, man, I'm blessed that I got to experience as much of Bob Uecker as I did, and I grew up a Brewers fan, so he was always there. Because I think some people, you think of Harry Carey, right? The Cubs fans always had Harry Carey. There's some voices out there that it's just it's bigger than sports. It's just it's iconic.
Yeah,
and Uecker's definitely one of those guys.
Well, and unlike Vin Scully, Vin Scully, it's just baseball, man. That is Vin Scully. And Vin Scully did a lot of other things, but it's baseball. I mean, just the voice, the everything, right? I mean, it just sets you back in a time wherever you want to go in that time. I think Harry Carey and Uecker are more alike because there's personality and character to them that you almost equate it to that side more than the actual voice in the microphone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's a little bit of difference, but still, in many tokens, the same. By the way, if you didn't know, Uecker played, he was from Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. He was drafted by the Braves, Milwaukee Braves at the time. St. Louis Cardinals, Philadelphia Phillies. He won a World Series with the Cardinals. And then he played for the Atlanta Braves, so Atlanta Braves fans in 1967, and then was a obviously a broadcaster for all the years after that, starting in 1971. So that's a wild career. Did you know this? Uecker appeared at WrestleMania 3 in Pontiac, Michigan.
I didn't know
as a WWF at the time.
Yep.
So he announced some of that, and I mentioned Johnny Carson stuff, Saturday Night Live, and then I think a lot of people know him for the Miller Lite commercials.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So
You got the time, we got the beer.
What a life! What a life! Right?
What a life, man. And like, listen, I think that dude ripped it until the day that he died. I mean, I remember a couple years ago, when the Brewers won the division, beat the Cubs like in like exciting fashion. You got Uecker in the locker room popping champagne, fist bumping, wearing the goggles around his head. Like, that dude lived life, man.
Yeah,
you know, that dude lived life, and he was unapologetically himself. And God bless him. Hopefully, more people can be like that.
Yeah. He's a WWE Hall of Famer.
I don't know he's a Hall of. I mean, it makes sense.
He'd make more appearances than that. That would have been. I just saw the one.
Well, there's like they have like a separate wing for like celebs and everything.
Oh,
like
okay.
Cyndi Lauper's a WWE Hall of Famer.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter how much you did or whatever else. It's more put the name in.
Correct.
As part of it. Okay.
Yep.
Baseball. There's so much reverence in baseball, and I feel like older people, like Uecker at 90, or like as we still revere Vin Scully, or just baseball has that more than other sports.
Yeah.
I feel like even golf, right? Like Jack Nicklaus is really, even an Arnold Palmer in the later years, like there's something like, I don't know, like you put your arms around those guys being around the game. Being still at the golf course, or being at the baseball diamond or stadium or wherever else. And not to say that and maybe I'm missing. I don't feel like we say that about football and even basketball, because the reason why is when we see those guys, it's such an athletically assuming sport that when we see them, they almost look more frail in that regard. And you're like, dang, man, he's getting old. I remember when he used to knock people into next week on the football field, right? Or basketball, and he used to dunk over people. And now he looks like an older man that can't do that. But baseball and golf don't seem to carry that at least in my mind, when it comes to the older
You're not wrong.
player, athlete, whatever else.
Yeah.
I think we feel a certain way about those two sports versus maybe basketball and football when we see someone in their 90s or late 80s that was a legend of the past.
Well, and you're not wrong, because also I feel like it's such a gift to call baseball games. Yeah. Because like when you talk about, I mean, listen, calling any kind of sport is hard, right? Like try calling hockey. My God, man. But like when you talk about football, it takes talent, right? There's some great ones. There's the Tony Romos right now, right? And then there's Tom Brady's. But the action kind of speaks for itself, right? Like you're almost secondary. Like the action, what you see on the field, the highlights, the runs, the passes, the defensive hits, like that all kind of speaks for itself. And you're almost like you're just commentating on that. Baseball, it's more of like you tell stories. You get through the nuances of a pitcher, getting pulled, or like somebody warming up. Like there's a lot more that goes into baseball, I feel like, and like it gives you an opportunity to obviously put yourself on a pedestal like a Harry Carey or Bob Uecker. But I feel like only few are gifted enough to be able to tell the story, to paint the scene, if you're not watching it on TV.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Bob Uecker passed away at the age of 90, so some sad news out of baseball today, but in a very weird way. If you say that name, try not to smile.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And it goes back to so many different memories. All right, we'll take a time out. Come back, talk a little bit more about football. Today, we get into Kellen Moore a little bit. We've taken a different candidate each and every day. What about Kellen Moore? I feel like he's so far under the radar. In fact, when I know there's 5 offensive guys and 5 defensive guys, and every time in my mind I'm like, okay, who's the 5th one? And that one is Kellen Moore. Is he really a candidate? Is this a real chance of Kellen Moore, or is this kind of a hey, how you do type of interview? Kind of like the way it felt with a Steve Spagnuolo or even a Patrick Graham. It didn't feel like, to be honest with you, and I'm not saying they're not, it just doesn't feel like they're bona fide, the Jags are going after them. Feels like, they're going to see and test and due diligence. And I feel that way a little bit with Kellen Moore. Is that right or wrong? What does he bring to the table? We'll talk about it next on the Brent Austen Show on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jag Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242. You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Right now, save 10% off a new Rinnai tankless water heater. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Here on Spring Sports Media Day on Action Sports Jax.
It's an opportunity, an education beyond the classroom and the sports arena. Life skills, testing skills, social skills. It's called High School 912, a program focused on maximizing the growth of students in academics, sports, and life. And here's your chance to get involved. If you're a local business, or if you just want to make a donation to help support programs like ACT and SAT boot camps, career days, Leadership Academy, Financial Literacy Academy, and so much more.
All right, another Nice High School Panther, Jack Cole.
High School 912 supports and hosts high school sporting events and several media days throughout the year. For more information on how you can get involved, visit jaxhighschool912.com.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to Spring Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Wow, that's a big list, huh? They don't just get 5 in on the College Football Hall of Fame class. Nick Saban, Urban Meyer, so Saban didn't have to wait any.
Mighty Ball, nice, okay.
Big John Henderson, former Jacksonville Jaguar.
Alex Mack.
Alex
Turn of the Mac.
Michael Vick.
Strahan.
Where is the College Football Hall of Fame?
Oh, yeah, Strahan, yeah. That's in Atlanta.
Okay.
You don't remember seeing it when we went to the Super Bowl? Did you go into the place where they had all the helmets on the wall?
I don't think so.
You don't remember seeing that? Mm-mm. Maybe that was. I don't know if they moved it there after. Or
I mean, it was so many fun activities, Brent. We were doing riding scooters. We went to the aquarium.
We did.
So I can put the College Football Hall of Fame back in the memory banks.
Sick.
But dude, so hey, try going to the aquarium when it's shut down for a private event with free drinks and food, Hamby,
and music,
and music.
Like it's actually something they should do more of.
Wow.
They should have music at aquariums.
Me and Stuart
it was a great idea.
Me and Stuart were just chilling with the penguins.
Yeah, I mean,
having a barley pop. The sea otters are cool too.
Yeah, those are freaking chillers.
Yeah, they're just going back and forth the whole time in the water. Yeah, they know. They know what's
cool.
up.
That was a cool one.
It's the best one ever.
It was the best.
And we went to Miami. I'm like, all right, it's Miami, right? Yeah, it's
what was the Miami one?
We're like at a pier.
It was at a pier.
Like a.
Didn't they have DJ Khaled there? Was that the one?
No way.
I don't think so. Did they?
One of them I've been to. They had DJ Khaled. I thought it was Miami, but maybe it wasn't.
I feel like I would have remembered that.
You would have remembered.
I don't know. Yeah, well, I wasn't partying that hard.
This was the last one we went to. Some of the media parties.
Well, you guys were in Phoenix, right?
It was Arizona. It was out at like some farm area, like not farm. It's like it probably were like you're getting married. Like it was like one of those kind of venues.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're getting married at some farm place, aren't you?
Something like that.
Yeah. So they've turned them into like event venues. And
New Orleans is gonna be. I mean, you're not going to New Orleans, though, are you?
No, we're not going to go this year. And I didn't always go to the media parties.
Yeah.
New Orleans, I don't know where they do it. We went to one in Houston where they did it at Minute Maid Park was the opening night. That was the media day, not the party.
Mm-hmm.
They do that one. I don't know, because again, sometimes we don't go just to fit. It's got to fit the schedule.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And but the Atlanta one was good.
Atlanta one was fun. That was my first one and the best one. Yep.
Now, those damn aquariums are expensive too.
To go.
Oof.
Yeah.
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 I grew up going to Mystic Aquarium.
Oh yeah.
In Connecticut.
Yeah, I've heard Mystic Aquarium. Why have I heard Mystic Aquarium?
Probably because you heard of Mystic Pizza.
Is that the same thing? Yeah. That's what it is.
Same town.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was just over the border in Connecticut for us. Which also, by the way, is the headquarters. As I'm looking at WWE, I think it's still the headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
Is in Connecticut, right?
Correct. And that's where ESPN's at too.
They are in Bristol. Still never been to Bristol, Connecticut, which is pretty wild.
Why are they there?
I think a lot of people are there in that Connecticut area because it's right on the edge of New York.
It's like still an hour away.
Well, okay, an hour away. You don't have to pay what you're paying in New York.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's kind of like being in a lot of people in New Jersey, so I don't have to be in New York for the same type of reasons.
Great question by Hammy's Burner. Fantastic question.
Actually, Hammy's Burner, I thought it would be you.
That's a good point.
I hope I'm not the best man in Hamby's wedding.
No, I told you yesterday it's my brother, and you actually accused Hammy's Burner of being my brother's account.
I did, true. So maybe it is Hamby's Burner.
Why would be asking that question?
That's Alex, right?
Yeah.
Shane Gillis.
Call him Shane.
Still no relation to Hammy's Burner.
What does Alex play? Alex is a musician, right?
Yep.
What does he play? Drums?
Yeah.
Nice.
Is he going to play the drums at your wedding?
Probably not. I didn't want him to have to do. I wanted him to be able to just enjoy it.
Aw. Make him do the drums, Hamby.
I want his drum solo, man. How about on our show before the wedding? You getting married on a what? Friday? Thursday?
Friday.
Are we doing the show that morning? From the wedding venue?
What time's the wedding?
4.
Oh, yeah, we can do this. Yeah.
Might as well.
Little pregame?
I will not be participating.
Should probably get invited first.
Yeah, you probably
before we
should.
even book ourselves to do the show from there.
We don't have to go to the wedding. We can just go to the...
Oh, I got you.
Just do our show.
I'm not gonna lie. If I'm making the drive there, Hamby, no respect, I'm going to the wedding. Like, if we're gonna do the show from there, I'm gonna help myself to some hors d'oeuvres or whatever you call them.
Hors d'oeuvres, very good.
Yeah.
Hors d'oeuvres are the greatest.
Yeah. What's on the menu, Hamby?
We had to go do a tasting in like 2 weeks.
Nice.
Oh, that's good.
What are you thinking here?
I don't know what.
Filet mignon. What are we thinking here?
Filet mignon.
I don't know.
What are you thinking? Okay.
Multiple things. Multiple different.
Chicken cordon bleu.
You got to have a chicken and a fish.
Yes. Oh yeah, fish is kind of.
a meat and a fish.
Yeah.
Got to have options.
Mm-hmm.
Got to have
vegan
your
options.
Got to have your vegans.
Got to have your vegan options.
People.
Yep.
If you're vegan, you're not invited.
I like it. I like it.
Sorry.
I like it, man.
See you, Liv.
Like it. Is Liv vegan?
I think so.
Oh, bummer.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think she is.
Just making assumptions.
Well, I'm pretty sure
Okay.
I've heard that before.
I got you.
She's in the other room. She can come tell us.
Okay.
Or don't, Liv. You might want to tell us. No invitation to
No, listen, I got respect for it. I could never do it, but more power to you if you can pull that off.
I was always struck. My vegan conversation was with Malik Jackson, and he's like, I think I'm going to do vegan in this off, or he was talking about the off season.
Yeah.
And he got in better shape. He's like, yeah, I think he was like, I almost went vegan. I was like, how would you go vegan? You're like 305 pounds.
Prince Fielder did it.
What?
Same thing with Prince Fielder.
He did it?
Yeah, he was vegan.
It just doesn't add up in my mind, right?
Yeah,
like,
man.
You should be eating meat.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, and that's the thing, too. And then I see Bob Uecker living to 90, just grubbing down bratwurst and beer. And it's like, all right, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I remember being kind of proud of Malik when he said, I almost did it, but I didn't. I was like, yeah, good for you.
No
man.
one likes a quitter.
No one likes a quitter. So Liv tells me no red meat. What does that make you?
Oh, that's
So
like
she's chicken and fish.
chicken and fish.
What, and probably turkey and turkey.
Turkey.
She's-
What other meats are there that are not red?
Is that a word? Is there a word for that?
Picky.
I don't know.
Picky.
No, because I think they say like
I love this.
red meat is harder to break down for the body to break down.
Oh, is it?
Red meat's really good for you.
Well, there are
within
benefits.
reason.
Yeah, you can also have a heart attack, Andy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta limit the red meat.
Just don't read anything.
This says,
people.
pollotarian, which is chicken in Spanish, pollo, is people who eat poultry but not red meat. Pollotarians eat a diet high in plant foods.
Brent, one meat the rest of your life. You going with like steak? We going beef? Or are you going pork? What are we doing here? One meat the rest of your life. Pick one.
Can I choose an animal?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, then I would cow. Yeah.
So like you going? Okay.
Yeah.
Brent, cow.
I think I'm not picking an animal. I'm picking a food.
Okay, well, like fish. I mean, like fish is an animal and a food.
I think I'm picking. Steak, and I've changed.
So cow.
I'm not picking an animal
Why?
because I just want to say steak, chicken, or.
But like
Seafood.
chicken
is a
chicken
chicken.
is an animal and it's chicken when you eat. Like fish is a fish and you know what I'm saying?
I
So
know.
you
But
can
this
say
game
cow.
was presented as meat, not animal.
Okay, got you.
And so I think I
Over
would go
pork,
steak,
huh?
but definitely over pork.
Oh, really? You don't?
Yeah, but
Okay.
and over chicken for sure. The thing I wrestle with as a guy from New England, I love my seafood, man. So like if it's I do have an affinity for seafood, but I wouldn't get stuck on one type of seafood.
Yeah.
So I
you're
feel like
going
I could just say,
steak.
give me a sirloin steak for the rest of my life, and I'm fine.
Plus, you can do different things with the steak. You can do like sandwiches. You can do tacos. I mean, you can do that with fish too, I guess. But yeah, I don't know.
How about you?
I'm thinking steak as well, just from the flavor profile. But like, I'm trying to think what I get burnt out on steak. No, I'd probably go steak. Yeah.
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 There's a lot more variety in the seafood realm. So if you open it up to seafood
Oh, we're going
or
crab
fish in
leg or
general, I mean, you
something?
can really like.
You get sushi. Yeah, it's good. See, I don't think about sushi.
No, you couldn't do seafood because then I could just say, oh, I'm going to pick land animals.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, you're stuck on the animals for sure. E-I-E-I-O.
Yeah. I mean, you said chicken. Could you go eggs then if you go chicken?
I think that's stretching it.
Okay. Then I'm going with steak.
All right. Where the hell were we at today? We're all over
I don't
the
know,
place.
man. There's a lot has happened.
Kellen Moore.
He ain't coming here. All right, next thing. No.
Sorry, Kellen. Moving on.
Yeah.
You just got requested an interview with the Dallas Cowboys. We know you're going there, so don't even interview tomorrow with us.
Facts.
All right? Yeah. I mean, it has a little bit of that feel to it, especially when the Cowboys job opened up. But let's take it off. Listen, we're equal time for everybody. Well, not really. Ben Johnson seems like he's gotten a lot of time here on the show. But what about Kellen Moore? Does something excite you about Kellen Moore? Does something scary about Kellen Moore? You know, his name has been bounced around in head coach circles for years now. And the Cowboys obviously were on the forefront of that. Looked like he might even be like coaching. Wait, remember when it was Dan Quinn and Moore? And I know they were just like, Dan Quinn was just there last year or 2 years ago. But even if you go 3 years back, I want to say, it was Moore and Quinn. And people were like, okay, which one of these guys are going to take McCarthy's job when they fire him?
Yeah.
And Moore, I think, had a lot going for him in that regard. And it felt like Jerry Jones, that's the next Garrett, the next this, whatever. And, well, then one of the moves was, see you later.
Yeah.
He got out of there, went to the Chargers, ends up at the Eagles.
Yep.
He's only 36 years old, is my point. Like, it feels like his name has been in the headlines of a coaching job for a while, and he's only 36 years old. So he definitely fits the category of coach that we think the Jags might lean toward, that under 40 offensive mind. How do you feel about him?
All right, so Kellen Moore, obviously a younger guy, played a lot of football. How many years was he in the NFL?
Shoot. 6.
6 years? Okay.
A handful of years.
And NCAA leading passer?
Might have been at one time from Boise State, yeah.
I think. Yeah.
15,000 passing yards.
Pretty good.
Not bad. Yeah,
put Boise State on the map.
Yeah. I mean, when I talk about the tiers, Brent, like, I almost put him tier 3. Tier 3, I wouldn't put him tier 4, but like tier 3, there's a lot to like about him. Having played the position, I kind of like Doug Peterson a little bit. So, like, how does that make you feel? He had a lot of success in Dallas. Now, at the time in Dallas, pretty good situation. Dak Prescott, at that time, was almost like a top 5 quarterback, you can make an argument for. So, like, he had a great quarterback at his disposal. He goes to the Chargers, doesn't necessarily have a really good run there. I forgot how it all shook out, but
it was a short run.
I feel like it didn't work out well.
Mostly because of Brandon Staley, because when they fired Staley, they just didn't retain any of the staff.
Sure. Yeah. But then you go to the Eagles, and this is kind of the thing with the Eagles. Like, yes, you have a great offense. Yes, you have Saquon. Yes, you got A.J. Brown. You got Jalen Hurts, all these guys. But, like, people wanted to say for a little bit of that, this past season, saying, well, they're kind of stagnant, right? Like, A.J. Brown had issues with the offense for a bit, and then he was crying, and then I was reading books, but he was crying before. So, like, there's a lot of things that are going on with the Eagles in terms of what it looks like. Now, do I think Kellen Moore could be a great head coach? Sure. Do I think he's a great play caller? Yeah, I do. And maybe he hasn't got the best out of Jalen Hurts, but this Eagles team is legit. And he's got something to do with it. I just wonder, can you put him in the head coaching role, and can he, once again, lead men?
Well, I think that's a fair question for any of these guys on the offensive side, though, right? Wouldn't you agree? Like, don't you have a similar question with Brady and Johnson and even Coen, that different than you do with the Glenns and Salas of the world?
Yeah, but for some reason, I feel like Coen, maybe it's more experience. But yeah. I don't know.
I feel like it's Coen because he's the biggest guy of them all. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's like 6'2" and 220 or something like that.
Kellen Moore's small.
Kellen Moore's like the little guy. Ben Johnson's kind of a smaller guy. Joe Brady, I think, is a big guy. Like, there's something in that in our psyche, right? That just doesn't feel right. I would say this about Moore, different than the other guys. Let's just take the last. Well, we'll just take the last 2 years. Last 2 years, so recent history. You can really see what Coen did this year in Tampa, what Brady did in the last year and a half in Buffalo, moving on from Dorsey, and obviously what Ben Johnson's done in 2 years. I don't get that vibe with Kellen Moore. The Chargers, okay, he's part of a fired staff. I don't really think that was on him. Staley really probably more than anybody. But he didn't have enough time to kind of own that offense with Herbert and everything else either.
Yeah.
And then you look at Philly, and I'm like, okay, and I'm sure there's more. I'm just trying to be honest with the way I feel about it. What's the impact of him on their offense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What have they?
Their offense is already good. Like their offense is physical. They've got the best offensive line in the league. They've got a quarterback that I think is somewhat limited, but really effective in their system. They've got A.J. Brown, who's a high quality wide receiver. They've got Devontae Smith. They've got the tight ends. I mean, and then they have Saquon Barkley. Like, hand it to Saquon Barkley. Do we or should we be giving him credit for Saquon Barkley, or do we not give him credit for Saquon Barkley?
No, I mean, come on. I think Saquon gives himself credit, and that's about it, as you should. I mean, I'm looking up the Chargers that he was there that year with the – was it? It was still Los Angeles, right? Was it San Diego? Whatever the case.
Yeah.
It was L.A., so, okay.
It was just last year.
Yeah. Well, they were 24th in total offense.
Yeah.
When he was there.
Well, I'm like, we're 10 years removed from San Diego is my point.
I got you. Sorry. My bad, man. I keep thinking San Diego. Yeah. That's still a newer stadium. Come on.
I get it.
But no, they finished 24th in total offense that year that he was there. Now, once again, not just all him. I get it, but
listen, there's probably something to like here, and it doesn't always have to be what have you done for me lately, but it often is what have you done for me lately. And what have you done for me lately doesn't always equate to instant success. Sometimes you can have listen, when Bill Belichick was hired by the Jets and the Patriots, nobody in their right mind expected that's what he would bring. So there are unknowns. And I don't want to eliminate a guy like Moore. I
think he's the biggest risk reward. I think he's like the biggest risk you can take.
I think he's the most vanilla pick you can get.
Really?
No juice.
I really do. Like
no juice.
And I hate to say that because I feel like I'm disrespecting him, and I'm not trying to do that.
You're
I'm just telling you how I feel around here. Like that would be like that comes across. I'd be like, they did what?
Yeah. No, I mean I get that point. I'm saying, like, I think he's the biggest risk because it could blow up in everybody's face. Like, he may not be cut out for it. More than any other coach. No, maybe he is. Maybe he's the next Sean McVay. Who knows? But I'm not sure if I'm going to be willing to stake an organization that needs to win now more than ever on Kellen Moore.
Let me take this to a different level because obviously there are a lot of ties, right, with Dallas. So Dallas knows him really well. He played for him. They played under him. McCarthy liked him. All these things. Well, if they like them so much, and I'm not saying they're the standard, but they do win a lot of football games, and they know them, and they obviously have a huge hire on their hands. And if they're that interested or people tied to him that much,
he had a lot of success there.
Shouldn't other people be too? Like, I mean, shouldn't there be a little copycat here in some respect? Now, there's a flip side of this. When I look at Dallas, I'm like, okay, we just had this conversation the other day about Jerry Jones. Mm-hmm. Well, you're going to bring Deion Sanders in and then finally say, hey, I got to get out of the way of this. I got to get out. I'm too much of the prominent figure. I need somebody else to be Deion Sanders. That's the guy. Mm-hmm. Well, if you're feeling that way, you're not bringing Kellen Moore in. So therefore, you're bringing Kellen Moore and you're saying, I'm still the guy in the organization. My name's Jerry Jones at 82 years old, and I'm going to talk to the media, and this thing still runs through me. This feels very Jason Garrett. And I'm not telling you Jason Garrett is a bad coach. They did some good things, but it seems very unexciting.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like I'm like hammering these guys. I'm not really trying to. I'm just trying to. We gauge these things off those kind of thoughts, quite frankly. Like, who's going to energize this place? We need somebody to energize a building here. See, that's part of this. Right now, that building is not energized with the idea that Trent Baalke is staying here either. He's not energizing the building. So right now in Jacksonville, this fan base needs to be energized. The building needs to be energized. The locker room needs to be energized. Because if there's one thing that I thought Doug Peterson couldn't find again is that magic to ramp these guys up and energize them. We felt like not flat all the time, but let's be honest, they came out flat in the home opener against the Cleveland Browns, and they came out flat on a Monday Night Football game, leading to win that game and get their ass whooped. So I need somebody that's going to provide some energy. I don't need a cheerleader, but I need some energy. And I don't feel that with him. I don't, quite frankly, feel that with a couple of the candidates, but I don't know them. Well, I shouldn't say I know any of them, but I just think so. Like, I could see Robert Saleh providing that energy. I know he's not the sexiest to pick for everybody.
Glenn,
but I could see Glenn creating. It's funny, like when I look at Glenn, I'm not seeing he's not like pounding the wall full of energy, but he feels like that respected guy that's been through it all, that knows when to push the button of getting in people's faces and when to back off it and really have the respect.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson has this like stoicism almost to him that kind of, I feel like he's going to demand some of that and provide some of that energy in a quiet way. Like Ben Johnson has a little Kevin O'Connell to me, where he's going to like infuse encouragement, but he also, if it's time to lay the hammer, which I bet O'Connell does sometimes, like he can do that and you can feed off him a little bit. Right now, Ben Johnson as an OC, and in fairness, Kellen Moore and other people, you don't feed off the OC. The OC's in the background. But I feel like I could get Ben Johnson. I feel like Liam Coen could offer some of that. I just don't feel that way with Kellen Moore. And I'm not telling you I'm right.
No, for sure.
But I think we do need some energy around here in some respect, whatever that's supposed to look like.
Yeah. Like I said, I just think in terms of who has the risk of it going the worst, I think it could be Kellen Moore. So
It just doesn't seem like head coaching material.
Let's stay on that, actually. You got me thinking. I want to think more about what you just said there. Because basically what you're saying is it's boom or bust. But aren't these guys in some respect all boom or bust? The guys that haven't done it before? It's either going to go well or it's not.
But I'm even saying like the boom part. Like I don't think I just think it could be a bust. Like I think the floor is the lowest, and I don't think the ceiling could be that high either.
Okay,
with Kellen Moore.
Fair.
Yeah.
Let's stay on that point then. Let's take a time out. Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network, Brent Austen Show. We've got the Segway game coming up. I'm excited about this. It's the second time we've done it. If you haven't been around for the Segway game, I think you'll enjoy it. It's coming up next. Also, who could be the biggest bust on their list? Who is that boom? I mean, they all are to a degree, and then is there a safe pick in there?
Yeah.
That allows you to say, okay, we can at least be here because we don't want these 4-win seasons and top 5 picks in Jacksonville. Could that guy be the answer? We'll talk about it next, right here on the Brent Austen Show. Burgers or breakfast, you can get it all at Whataburger. Try something new on the menu or an all-time favorite like the Whataburger Patty Melt.
And now you can have breakfast here at Whataburger 12 hours a day, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. Menu items like the bacon taquito, sausage taquito, honey butter chicken biscuit. Whether you work the late night shift, just want a snack early in the morning to get your day started, or a little pick-me-up late in the morning, 12 hours a day, breakfast served, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m.
A dozen locations in Jacksonville. You can order pickup or delivery and download the Whataburger app. New rewards members get free Whataburger items when placing their first online order. Just download the app. And for us coffee drinkers, Whataburger has all new hot coffee and iced coffee too. Satisfy that coffee craving at Whataburger 24/7, and it comes in a variety of flavors. Burgers, breakfast, coffee, and so much more. Whataburger, just like you like it.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, save $1,000 or more when you bundle a Kinetico Premier Softener with a Kinetico K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Kinetico water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Kinetico dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Did I watch Squid Game? Here we go.
I'm sorry, Hammy?
Did I watch Squid Game?
I was watching, Squid Game number 2.
I watched the first 2 minutes of it and realized I wouldn't have enough time to
really invest, sink your teeth into it.
So I figured I'd probably just stop.
Gotcha. Yeah. It was. I didn't know we're back live on the show, Hammy. My bad.
It's all good.
It's been 10 days, man. You know, I'm still getting acclimated again. Brent, Squid Game, big Squid Game guy?
Nah, you told me about it years ago. I haven't done it. Should I? Right now, I'm watching The Agency, and I'm watching 2 shows at once. Landman.
Landman?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
It's okay. It's about
not selling
Bob Thornton in it.
Oh, this is the oil thing.
The oil.
Jerry Jones is in it.
I haven't seen Jerry yet.
Jerry Jones in it.
Okay, It's like a 10-episode thing. I think I'm halfway through.
It's just okay.
It's good, but not like I'm not all the way in yet. Well, I'm in because I'm watching it.
Yeah, you're kind of committed.
But
right?
I wouldn't be. I'm not hard selling it.
Okay.
This Agency one's kind of interesting.
Okay. Is that like the FBI?
It's like a CIA.
Okay.
But the guy that basically lives his life for 6 years as a different person.
Yeah, like undercover. Okay, gotcha.
And so, undercover. That would be it. Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of a fascinating look at that.
Yeah. Matt Masters, relax with Yellowstone, please.
Yellowstone is better than Landman. Yes, it is. But it's from the same creator.
Oh.
Like that dude's like the hottest creator going.
I feel, yeah. Okay.
I mean, he's now I forget his name right now, but he's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like every show has his.
If you want a show set in Texas or Montana or Wyoming, that's your dude.
I think I've told you, but the story about him,
about the creator
of the show, is that he is like a rancher, or like he lives that life.
Okay.
In Texas, I think it is, and so I think his whole. Obviously, he's creating these shows, but part of it is to showcase the world that they live in.
Yeah.
I mean, so this thing's in Midland, Texas, where the oil fields and stuff like that. Hard life.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far so good.
King of Tulsa, Mayor of Kingstown. They got there's a show called Severance. Brent, have you
Tyler
seen Severance? That's coming out on Apple TV tomorrow, season 2.
You know,
Severance was so good.
Oh, so you did watch it? Okay,
Binged it. Hey, binged it in 2.5 days. And
like
you know me,
just
yeah,
like in the last couple of weeks.
Oh no! I watched it like a couple months ago.
Okay, so I was trying to find a show, and I tried that one. In the first 15, 20 minutes of that, as I remember, it was so slow for me.
Oh.
And so is that what happened? I got to really pay attention in the first 20 minutes?
Well, this is one that you got to put your cell phone down. You got to stay locked in.
And
because
I've had it.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I get it.
Okay, so if you say it, I'll try it again because I'm seeing it everywhere. But I know
Coach Ripley's saying he tried Severance and it didn't do anything. I thought Severance was genius.
Rip, I'm with you, man. I mean, I tried that thing because I just get like in this mode where I want a new show.
Yeah.
And I like these shows, and I like them in 10-episode form so I can get through them.
Sure.
And I'm not 5 seasons behind and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for them.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and I was just like, I didn't know if it was slow or weird at first. I can't remember exactly.
It's very weird.
I don't know if it was so weird that it was too weird for me.
Okay.
But hey, listen, I'll try it again.
I mean, to do what you want to do, I loved it. But once again, I mean, it's not like I feel like we're kind of aligned when it comes to.
Well, not all the time. I mean, you won't watch Yellowstone or
I'm not doing it, yeah.
Or Ted Lasso.
No,
but you're just doing that out of spite.
No, I'm doing that because I've said it before. I think that if I'm going to do a comedy, I want it, a little raunchy, little like dark humor, and I just feel like Ted Lasso is too much of a feel good show. I don't need to do it.
I'm going to say something. So if anybody's watching Landman right now, this is going to sound bizarre, okay?
Okay.
But whoever the actress is, like his wife, and she's good looking, and like they
Landman?
make her like good, like she's always in a bathing suit.
Is she
or
Billy Bob
whatever.
Thornton's wife in this show? Okay, let me go and Google that real quick.
And so you guys would all know the actress's name. I don't do that. I was pretty happy I knew Billy Bob Thornton. But anyway,
Allie Lauder?
Dude, should I know who she is?
Is she Angela Norris?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so she's always like half naked though in the show. Is the point?
Sure.
And this is going to sound strange because you're like, okay, that's cool. Let me turn it on. And it's like, it's almost like I don't get why they throw that at you all the time in the show.
Oh, yeah.
It's like always in. Like it's a weird thing it's not bothering me.
Yeah.
Bothering me?
Yeah. But you're trying to watch with the family maybe, and it's like,
Well, it's just like, it's once in a while if it was in there, but it's like constant in the show. Like I wonder when he was creating the show, it's like, okay, I got to spice this up with this, because they probably have a check box. Like you got to have sex, you got to have this, you got to have language, you got to like,
Jerry Jones. Yeah.
But I think I'm 4 or 5 episodes in, I'm like I feel like she's in it too much.
Yeah.
But maybe there's more to it that I'm going to get to.
Yeah.
So I'm still waiting for that.
I'm trying to think. There it is.
Odd thing to complain about.
Okay, there it is. I was trying to remember where I saw Allie Larder from. She's in Varsity Blues. There we go. Yeah, and the guy on the bottom there, Hurricane. Yes. Okay.
Varsity Blues.
Yeah.
I feel like I had seen her before, so that was obviously 20 years ago.
That was Varsity Blues, yes.
Was Billy Bob Thornton in that too?
Varsity Blues? No, he was in Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights,
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Man, Billy Bob Thornton's good, isn't he?
Dude he's lived quite the life. Remember him when we should have living here for celebrity news. Remember when he used to date Angelina Jolie? When Angelina Jolie was the person?
Yes.
Like Gone in 60 Seconds, she can somehow rock dreads and it looks good. Angelina Jolie. And like I remember like watching the MTV Movie Awards back when it was MTV actually worth watching. And like I remember they had vials of each other's blood around their neck. This is before like machine gun.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
I do remember that. How?
What? Huh?
What's is Billy Bob Thornton? What's the show? Blade? Was it something Blade?
Sling Blade.
Sling Blade.
Sling Blade.
Is that him?
That was him. Yeah,
that is him.
And that was my first introduction to him.
Yeah.
And then it was like,
get me some French fried potatoes.
And I couldn't comprehend like that. This is me being a kid, but that old dude's dating like Tomb Raider and the girl from Gone in 60 Seconds, and like.
And let's be honest. Like let's fully be honest here. Billy Bob Thornton ain't the greatest looking dude.
Nah, but hey, but he's a good actor.
He's a good actor.
He's a good actor, man.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
That's a little bit of this even in this show. It's like he's some oil guy, but he's not like the rich oil guy. And he's got like the wife that is like wearing a bikini the whole time.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's just wild. But anyway, Landman. Like, so far, it's good. Steph and I are watching it. She's into it, too.
Landman.
So far.
Maybe change the name. Change the title? Landman?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm for it. I'm good.
Okay.
With that. Listen, I don't try to hyperanalyze this stuff like it's a Jags coaching search.
Yeah.
I just sit back and watch.
Be honest, though, Brent. Where does it rank in terms of There Will Be Blood and Land? Is it kind of the same thing? No, seriously. It's about oil, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but there's not much. Okay.
There Will Be Blood. That was good.
Yeah.
You made me watch it.
See, and that was one that we both agreed was. Yeah,
that was good.
Okay. Hamby, you seen it?
Introduction
Probably
to Daniel Day-Lewis.
No.
Okay. Oh, Hamby. I mean, I'm just saying, Hamby, like, I don't tell people to watch a lot of movies, but before your lifetime, like, before it's all said and done.
It's over.
Before it's all said and done, you got to watch There Will Be Blood. Put the cell phone down, just pay attention, and sit back, get some popcorn, and admire the acting chops of Daniel Day-Lewis. Okay.
That's interesting. Ripley said that. So you're right. They're in the same spot. They're in Midland, Texas. Midland, Odessa. That's like Friday Night Lights territory. I did not realize that they gave. I missed that part. Early on, but I remember at the game. Yeah, I didn't know that was I didn't connect that, but I did connect the idea that's where Friday Night Lights was. I just didn't do the whole. That was the tip of the cap to that. Good stuff. All right, let's get back to who the Jags. We're all over the place today, and I kind of like it.
It's all good.
It's our show. We can do whatever the hell we want with it, people.
Let's go.
The risk reward that you mentioned with Kellen Moore, I feel like all these guys have it. Okay?
Yes.
I mean, we have no idea Ben Johnson's going to be a good coach. No idea Liam Coen. We have the same questions about all these guys. Can they lead men? Like, that's the thing. And we just don't know. You hope, but you don't know. Hopefully one of them, Sean McVay. And you pick the guy that is Sean McVay.
Correct.
Which one does give you take Kellen Moore out now that we just talked about him. Mm-hmm. Which one scares you the most? And which one has the highest floor? What's the safest pick? And we're going to find out if Shad Khan is a gambling man.
Yes.
Or he's going to play it on the conservative side.
What's the safest pick? It's crazy. Of all like the narratives that we brought to this, the past couple weeks, we haven't really said like who's the safest pick. Like who can you pick and you feel good about? Because
in a way, I thought, Doug, we needed a safe pick coming off Urban Meyer.
Correct.
And Doug was a safe. He's got a Lombardi trophy. He knows how to win. Listen, I still feel that way. I think he was a terrific pick for all those reasons. And I know people are mad at Doug around here now and the 4-13 and all this stuff, but the bottom line is I think he did a lot of good things. I think he was the guy you needed. I think that was the right choice. And how many times do you say that when 3 years later he's fired? I still believe he was the right choice. I don't know why it went. Well, we've had our thoughts on why it went sour a little bit at the end and why it didn't work out. But the bottom line is it didn't go bad because he's a bad guy or it was turmoil or anything like that. It's just they didn't win enough football games at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But a lot of things were right about that move is the point. And he was a safe pick in that cycle. And I thought they did a good job with it. If I was grading the Jags last cycle, I still think they did a good job with it.
Yeah. Honestly, if you're asking me who I think the safest pick is, and maybe this is me just being biased, but maybe it's me seeing what Dan Quinn did with Washington. I think the safest pick, well, I had Brable being the safest pick, obviously.
Yeah.
That was the guy I wanted.
Yep.
But since he's gone, I would almost lean towards Aaron Glenn, Brent, which is crazy because it would be his first head coaching gig. But I almost feel like his mentality, how he interacts with players, because I watched a lot of Hard Knocks when he was on there. I think Glenn might be the safest, even more than Saleh.
Hamby, what do you think?
To what extent do y'all think that age plays a huge factor in safeness? Doesn't it just seem like in our minds that the younger is the more risk and the older?
Well, yeah, because experience.
Agreed.
Yeah, because they haven't done it. So I think, and we're not talking about. See, I thought Jim Caldwell and Doug Peterson were slam dunk interviews and potential hires for the Jags the last time for all the reasons that I just said. But I also think Jim Caldwell, I think he was like 70, 71 years old, I want to say at the time, maybe 68. I think that's getting a little risky. I think and by the way, not to say you can't coach. We see plenty of coaches into their 70s coach and be successful. I think in this day and age, I think that gets risky because of relatability to player and everything else. So I think age, it works both ways, Hamby. That, what have we said about Monken? In many respects, Monken could be the safest pick of them all.
That's what I'm thinking.
Monken's offensive guy, can help your quarterback out, knows how to score the football.
Places. The floor feels so, like, the floor does not feel low with Monken. Like, it could be a disaster. It's almost inconceivable that it would be a total disaster with Todd Monken at the helm.
Well, then the floor is low.
No, the floor is not low. The ceiling may not be as high, but the floor is not as low. You not understand how the high-low ceiling floor concept works?
The
ceiling is the floor?
There's not a lot of wiggle room, Brent. It's just kind of plateau.
So did I hear you correctly? You think Monken could be a disaster, though?
No, I think he's one of the safer plays.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard you say he could be a disaster.
No,
then I agree with you.
Well, Brent, you just have to navigate through the whole Georgia bias, and then we'll get there.
I know.
Yeah.
Ceiling is the floor.
It's all good.
But yeah, I don't know that because he hasn't been a head coach in the NFL, but I feel that way about him. And why do I feel that way? Because he's 58 years old and had experiences, and will take those experiences with him.
Yeah,
and he actually has been a head coach before. It's just at the collegiate level.
I'm going to do something real quick between both of you guys. I want you to tell me out of this list of names who you think was the safest. And I'm going to exclude Jim Harbaugh because I think Jim Harbaugh was. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the coaches from last year, and you tell me. And I get hindsight's 20/20, but just their names alone, who you thought would have been the safest pick.
Okay.
And once again, we're going to exclude Harbaugh because I think that was probably the safest pick. Yeah. Would you agree or not? Or is there some risk with it? Fine, we'll put Jim Harbaugh in the mix. Jim Harbaugh. We have Mike McDaniel, who's now the coach at the Seahawks, came from the Ravens.
That one, yeah.
Yep. We have Antonio Pierce, who got obviously re-signed then to be the head coach of the Raiders. Brian Callahan, who I'm trying to think where he came from.
He was with the Bengals.
He was offensive coordinator of the Bengals. We have Dave Canales, who was the quarterback's coach in Seattle with Russell Wilson.
And OC in Tampa.
OC in Tampa then. We have Gerard Mayo. And we have Raheem Morris for the Falcons. And then we have Dan Quinn.
Yeah. So who's the safest?
And once again, hindsight being 20/20 but who you thought would have been the safest last year?
Even including Harbaugh, I would say Dan Quinn.
You think Dan Quinn?
Yeah, because he just
I think it's between Harbaugh and Dan Quinn. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And look at how much success Quinn's having. And even though that wasn't
Harbaugh too.
Yeah, and Harbaugh too. But it's funny because I'm at this list here. It's from USA Today. They ranked, who made the best hire. Every single team ranked dead last was Washington.
Really?
Correct. And it says Quinn's tenure as a head coach of the Atlanta Falcons was defined by collapse. He never recovered from a 28-3 failed to win a playoff game in a 3-year plus that followed and went to the Super Bowl to a 24-29 record before being relieved of his duties. His return to coordinator duties proved that he can still build a defense that plays football like a swarm of angry hornets stuffed into pads, but the Commanders are banking on the extra seasoning patching his holes as a head coach. Helping him avoid a postseason collapse and daunting inability to win a challenge, 0-7 since 2018, or manage a clock efficiently. And this is the guy who spent the last 3 years under Mike McCarthy. This is the concern. Washington will present Quinn with a depleted defense that ranked 32nd in both points and yards allowed last season, in part because it traded away Montez Sweat and Chase Young, but mostly because its secondary is an absolute disaster. He can turn that into something more, but he's always going to feel like a consolation prize after the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson announced that he'd be staying in Michigan at least one more season. Quinn gets a fresh start with the team with the most cap space in the NFL for 2024. The Commanders also have the second overall pick and four selections on day 2. That's a wonderful opportunity to have here for him to write the legacy. It won't be easy, and it's by far an exciting hire.
Well, I would say it wouldn't be the most exciting hire, but that means it's a safer pick. I'm surprised the write-up is so bad about him.
Yeah.
Because, and keep in mind, part of the reason why, as we get into this yesterday and the day before, they they were terrible in that playoff game against Green Bay.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oof, do you want that? Right? But he had been good, and he had been rumored to be the next guy in Dallas. Dallas wishes they had him still and could probably given him the job. Now, he had cap space to work with. They've had a refresh of the whole organization. I do think this. They got very lucky this year in many respects, much like Doug did. They got fortunate that year in 22. The Washington Commanders just had the Jags year in many respects. They won 7 times on the last play of the game. And I think my question will be, can they do it again? Will they sustain? And as we're all raving about Jaden Daniels, we were about C.J. Stroud last year too. And this year is, hey, listen, he's in the playoffs. Got to give him his flowers. But we all know what it's looked like compared to last year. So I think we have to still, 1 year doesn't tell the story. Didn't tell the story completely on Doug. I don't think it will completely on Dan. I don't think it does on the quarterbacks. So, but I think I would have said going into that cycle and giving me all those guys, honestly, even before, like Canales. How could Canales not be the worst pick? And he's actually done a nice job turning them around. He got them playing good at he rescued one of the most impossible situations ever. They gave up on the quarterback for 2 weeks. Indianapolis Colts did too, and then that hasn't worked out. Mm-hmm. But you don't usually sit down the quarterback, give up on him essentially, start planning for your future, bring him back, and now this guy's good.
Yeah.
How can you not give Canales credit for that?
Sure.
So, listen, we'll see where 1 year isn't enough sample. No, but I would say the safe pick in this cycle, you might say Aaron Glenn. That's okay. I'm cool with that. He still hasn't done it. I would say Saleh, or I still think Monken because he does have some head coaching experience.
Sure.
So I think my mind goes to those guys as the safe pick in this cycle for maybe anybody, but for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I would tell you this too. I believe this, that it doesn't matter if you and I are coaching the team. Next year's going to be the good year. Like they have all the recipe is in place to have a good season next year. I'm not telling you Super Bowl. I'm just telling you a turnaround. They will be +4, +5, +6 in the win column compared to this year based on some of the weird things that happened this season. The question will be, who's the guy to keep it going? Schott has to ask himself that because I think you can get a bunch of coaches in here next year to make an immediate impact.
So it's interesting. So I get that's only 1 year sample. Well, let's go back 2 years then, Brent. I'm going to give you the coaches that got hired in 2023, and you tell me who the safest hiring was out of these coaches.
All right.
Ready? Shane Steichen.
I would not have said he was safe.
Sean Payton. D'Amico Ryans. Frank Reich. I think it was only 4 of them.
Gannon?
Oh, and then Gannon as well, yes. 5 of them.
I would have to say of that cycle, I thought Peyton was walking into a tough spot.
Correct.
But you'd still say he's the safest bet to get you to mediocrity. See, when I think safe, I'm thinking you're hovering around like the Mike Tomlin days.
Yes.
Right? Like where you can at least be a factor, competitive, things go your way, you get in, they don't, you don't, but you're not at 3 wins and 4 wins. That's what I think of as safe. Mm-hmm. But safe also is like, can you get back to the mountaintop? And I wasn't screaming. I'm not a huge Sean Payton guy, but now I got to give him a lot of credit for what he's been able to do these last couple of years. I still would have probably leaned toward him. Yeah. I didn't know anything about Gannon, didn't know anything about Steichen.
Ryans, you maybe had an idea, but to me, it's Payton.
A lot of people like the Ryans move, but they were a mess.
Correct.
He was walking into a beehive in Houston.
Now, we can do this exercise all day, but I think we'd all agree that Doug Peterson was probably the safest pick when we got him. And
I think hands down.
Look at how it turned out. So it's not everything.
It can be good, but that's what my caution is. What does it look like down the road?
Sure.
And again, I would say even out of all these guys, you talk about Quinn, Peyton, Peterson, the last 3 cycles where you get the safe guys, I think Peyton actually has the best staying power. He did it for a long time in New Orleans.
And he's an offensive mind. Yeah, and obviously quarterback-friendly guy, it seems like.
Yeah.
Gets the best out of his quarterback.
Yeah, what he's done with Bo Nix and Russell Wilson the last 2 years has been impressive. It's hard to ignore that. Mm-hmm. Now, does that mean they're going to go back to the playoffs? Are they going to elevate even more? We'll find out. A lot of questions still to be answered. I'll give you a question still to be answered. If Cliff Kingsbury does get a job this cycle, which some people think he's still a hot name, who knows? Does Jaden Daniels have the success without him? Right? So there's something to keep an eye on in Washington. Let's do this. Take a timeout, get on track. We do have the Segway game. We'll do that. Liv's going to stop by, Liv's list, and more on the Jags coaching search along the way as well. Brent Austen Show here on a Thursday. Mike Mularkey scheduled to join us tomorrow around 11 o'clock. We asked Coach Mularkey, can you take us inside the room on some of these interviews? What's it like? And we're going to get that from the former Jags coach who's been plenty of interviews in his coaching career, now retired and hanging out with us on occasion. And we'll do that tomorrow here on the show at 11 a.m. Brent Austen Show on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC, we are professional grade. Happy New Year for the UNF Ospreys, and basketball season is in the teeth of conference play right now. A slow start for the men's team out of the gates with 3 straight losses, but then they broke through in the win column with a win over Bellarmine. The offense scored 98 points in that one. A long way to go, including a stretch the next few weeks with a chance to go on a winning streak. 8 home games in the next 3 weeks for the men's and women's basketball team combined. So check out UNFOspreys.com for the latest in news, schedules, results, and tickets. UNF Arena is a great place to watch a game, so go check them out. And while the hoop teams are battling some snow while on the road, the spring sports season has already arrived with the men's tennis program notching its first win under new coach John Collins. Swoop with the Ospreys in the winter and the spring, inside and outside. Check out UNFOspreys.com for all things Ospreys. I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, save $1,000 or more when you bundle a Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.
New to town or always been in town, everyone is always looking for a good pizza place. Our place is Donato's Pizza. We love it and still do love it. When I tell my family I'm coming to Donato's, they say, wait a minute, you got to order some for us. So this is not all for me. Let me tell you what the Martineaus get when we put an order in. Well, pepperoni pizza, We usually get more than one of these. And then there's the works, a little bit of everything. And then this is the pizza that can be polarizing for some out there. I don't know why. Hawaiian pizza. Some love it, some don't. At Donato's, you're going to love it, especially with that cinnamon sprinkled on top. Try the pizza my family likes or try your favorite. Right now, you can use the code BRENT20 and get 20% off your order. Every viewer and listener is important to us. And at Donato's Pizza, every piece is important. From fresh ingredients to the dedicated team members and you, the valued customer. Donato's Pizza, where every piece comes together for a winning combination. Jax Beach and Mandarin locations. Donato's Pizza, every piece is important.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Jacksonville Jaguars, obviously in the offseason, and what will that front look like next year? You got Trayvon and Josh. Devon Hamilton still under contract. Could they move a little bit on that? It seems like, I would hope they're going to kick in. Armstead, he's going to be under contract. Where will Mason Smith factor in? Tyler Lacey, I mean, they have bodies. Can they develop them? Can anybody emerge? Will there be better coaching? I mean, the bottom line is the last two defensive coordinators, while Caldwell did some good things, I don't think it was enough in some areas. I mean, if they can hit a home run higher on that defensive coordinator job as well, then this thing could really change. Not just for the whole team, but for individuals to really blossom in their career. And you already know the talents of Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker are there. I think I saw today somebody tweeted out that PFF named Trayvon Walker the most improved Jaguar player. And that was coming off a nice year last year. I feel like he's still trending up. Again, I would love to have seen these guys' numbers if they had the lead, even at a 25% more clip than they did this year, and what those guys would have done statistically. I feel like they both would have been in double digits, and I feel like Trayvon might have got to 13 sacks or something like that.
Do you agree with that, most improved player?
Because I think your options are limited.
Well, I know, but a tank, and even though it didn't maybe finish like it started.
Yeah, well, PFF, it's from a metric standpoint, so they're just looking at the thing, right?
Okay, gotcha.
So, I mean, the way he graded.
Yeah.
But I think your point's a good one, too. Like, who is the... I mean, let's just run through it, right? Josh isn't going to get it, even though I don't think Josh had a bad year. He went from 17.5 sacks to 8. He's not going to get it. Fourier was in and out of the lineup. Devin Lloyd, by the way, PFF loves Devin Lloyd. Nobody else seems to like Devin Lloyd. Tyson Campbell, no. Thought he'd get a big jump. Cisco, no. Savage wasn't here the year prior, but the other side, same deal.
Darby wasn't here,
and he got benched. I mean, Darby ended up getting benched for the younger guys. Armstead absolutely played one of his worst years of his career, I would think. Devon Hamilton, maybe some improvement just based off a very low baseline last year. So defensively, you've got Trayvon has to be the answer.
Oh, it's on defense?
Well, I'm just saying.
Defense. Yeah, okay, yeah. So on defense, sure. Yeah, Trayvon Walker. Okay.
I did this exercise last night because I was writing something for John Ogier and Jaguars.com. I went back and counted up on the offensive side. I don't know how you could say a bunch of these guys could have improved because they missed so many games. The Jags missed 39 games on the offensive side of the football, with Etienne and Bigsby only missing a couple, but Trevor, Christian, Evan, Gabe, a couple of games for Ezra Cleveland, you might remember, a couple of games for Walker Little. They missed 39 total games on their offense. Like that. And Brian Thomas Jr. had a great year. I would say the most improved, you're right, was probably Brenton Strange or Tank Bigsby given their previous year.
Yeah, because you can't say Anton Harris.
I don't think Anton fit this.
The bar was so high going to the second year.
I'll tell you who's the most improved maybe is Sheriff. And you don't usually give that to a guy who's been around for a decade, but Sheriff was not Sheriff we really wondered about last year.
Sure.
2 years ago. This past season, I thought he was really consistent and good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought he was probably the best thing on that offensive line. Well, Mitch Morse.
The crazy thing is he might be one of the best things on the offensive line, yet I think he might be the guy you replace.
Might be done, yeah.
They are getting older up front, and I say that with all due respect. Sometimes that's a good thing, but you just wonder how much you teeter on the edge of old. And Sheriff and Mitch Morse, who are great mainstays, also somebody's going to have to come in here and take a look and be like, all right, I think we can get better and younger here. We can't just keep riding on this.
Yeah.
So It'll be interesting. But listen, there are not a lot of candidates for the most improved.
No.
Not when you go 4-13. Brent Martineau Austen Lane, Jason Hamby. Cue the music, Hamby. Let's go. We got the Segway game or what? We ready for this? So let's explain the Segway game a little bit. A sports circumstance tied with a life circumstance. Is that the way to say it?
Any random topic.
Dude's playing that Chicago in the back, little 25 or 6-4. Hamby?
Maybe a little bit.
I told you, man. I know music now. I used to play that song in band back in high school. Yeah. I had the bass line.
So, yes, 30 seconds.
Sorry.
Each player. You get a random, one of the most random things I can think of, paired with a sports topic. You have 30 seconds to fill the time. The goal is to fill the time, not just to hit a one-liner and get there. So you will be graded on how you fill the time.
Oh, that's a new part of this.
Okay.
I would rather you take up the full 30 seconds.
Okay.
And for your transition skills.
Okay.
Austin, we will start with you.
Well, okay. Is this music going to be playing the whole time? Because it could be a little distracting because I love this song so much.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it down.
Thank you, man. And plus, I don't get flagged on YouTube. I feel like that could be a thing.
That is.
I feel like YouTube might be coming for our.
We need instrumentals.
Our pockets. Yes. Come on, Hamby. Now this isn't your first rodeo. All right, Hamby.
Non-licensed music.
What do you got for me here? I'll write it down.
Okay, your random topic is TikTok about to be banned.
TikTok about to be banned? Is it? I didn't know. Okay.
This Sunday, unless they strike a deal.
To be banned. Okay.
And man, actually, this is a little easier. Maybe I should give you. Okay, I'll give you a second one. No, that's just your topic.
Isn't it a sports thing first? Then whatever. Okay.
Either way.
Okay.
Your sport is going to be the potential of Dion going to Dallas.
The potential of Dion going to Dallas. Okay. Gotcha.
Ready?
Wait, am I start with Dion or am I start with TikTok? Just so I know.
You start with TikTok.
I start with TikTok.
Turn everything into the sports topic.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
The second time we've played the game, people. It's better.
Well, I know, and I've been out of time. Okay, so TikTok, then going to Dion. All right. 3, 2. What? I'm trying to
count you in.
We're starting the clock. I got 30 seconds, right?
This is like 3, 2, 1.
Okay, sorry.
Go.
Okay, gotcha. All right, listen, watching the playoffs this weekend, we got the Houston Texans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, Mahomes is going to be a participant. We're going to have Taylor Swift there, and probably Mahomes' brother as well. Don't even know his first name, but know he's really big on TikTok. Hopefully, that offense can get things going, maybe do some gritties, maybe do some celebrations. They won't be celebrating so much, though, I feel like, in Dallas if they do get Deion Sanders. Listen, Deion Sanders, a great college coach, but has way too much ego to try to pair with Jerry Jones and make it work there and try to make an offense work and score touchdowns and a defense try to rally around, DeMarcus. All right.
Hard stop.
You could have finished the thought.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how we're doing this. It's just I thought we had to stop there. I don't know. My bad.
I was just glad we didn't bring somehow get China and oil wells and Jerry Jones into this thing. Although maybe we should have.
Well, dude, he brings up. I'm not on TikTok, so it's hard for me, man. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you got?
Brent, your topic is made up words. And your sports topic is pitchers and catchers reporting in less than a month.
Wow. Okay, made up words. All right, you ready?
Ready? And begin.
I heard something actually just the other day that Webster Dictionary actually cancels like 20 words or so, or more than that, like a big number of words out of the dictionary each and every year. Did not realize that. Now, meanwhile, here on this show, we like to make up our own words, like comfortability. Is that a word? We're not even sure. I had another one yesterday, something.
Yeah.
And, well, let's go back to comfortability because pitchers and catchers about to and man, do I feel comfortable when that's about to happen. Forget about Valentine's Day. We're talking about baseball season, a tip of the cap to the late Bob Uecker.
How long was that, Hamby? You didn't give him the.
That was a little over.
That was the same as yours.
That was definitely over. Okay, I got you.
I let you go a little bit longer.
Okay. All right.
I couldn't remember the word I said yesterday when I rated up. Like,
yeah, I remember you said one.
Something.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I liked it. Hamby's got some hard topics. I feel that you had a harder one than I did. All right. What do you got, Hamby?
You have
Are we going 2 of these, by the way, each or
3 each.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We need practice.
Let's go.
Your topic is AI emojis.
AI. Okay. Emojis.
And your sports topic is just the fact that there are 8 football games left in the season before we hit the offseason, including the national championship. Only
Wait,
8.
say that one more time.
If you include the divisional round, the conference championship, the Super Bowl, and the national championship, there are 8 football games left before we go footballless for the next 8 months.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
And begin.
Listen, when we talk about the youth these days, you know, the kids, they don't like to write letters. They don't like to say thank you and please. It's all about emojis, right? Emojis have changed the game, whether it's rap music, whether it's just how we communicate with each other. It's not, hey, how you doing? It's, 100, or it's thumbs up, or it's the crying emoji. Speaking of the crying emoji, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a detriment of sports right now because we have 8 games left of football. And I'm not sure if you've been watching the NBA lately. 3-point percentage is at an all-time high, and it's killing the flow of basketball games. Baseball, rest in peace, Bob Uecker. Hockey, names are hard to pronounce. When football is done, sports are done. Crying emojis all day.
That was solid.
Thank you.
That was solid with a prop. Bad use of the crying emoji, though, because that's a laughing crying emoji.
Well, it can be crying. Brent, you are not the judge, the jury executioner when it comes to saying what emojis are emojis. We're good.
What we got?
Brent, you have...
It's hard to do in 30 seconds because we keep going
so
over.
hard, yeah.
What you had for dinner last night.
Let me think of that. Okay.
And how the Jags are approaching releasing their coaching updates.
I know what okay.
Okay. You ready?
Yep. And begin.
I had a bunch of different things for dinner last night. I had the Hammy special, taco ground beef meat, no taco. I had brats, and I even had an English muffin with peanut butter on it. And I did that at like 7, 9, and 11. Which about is the same time Liam Coen was still interviewing with Shad Khan, and the Jaguars either slept on this news, forgot the password, or just said, hey, everybody, wake up. Coen just completed an interview for the Jaguars coaching job.
Wow.
The energy was there, that one.
You were having ground beef?
I did. I had taco ground beef. I was just because I'm trying to eat like as much as possible without as many calories.
What I thought you were going to talk about is like, and it didn't feel good coming out. Speaking of coming out, it's been released that, Ben Johnson.
Good. You know where my mind went initially? I was like, the Jags should start releasing their coaches based on food.
Now it's
because I had such a wide variety of food last night.
You were all over the place, man. All right. All right, Hammy, give me one more, man.
Final round. Austin, your topic is DIY projects.
Do-it-yourself projects.
Oh, okay.
And your sports topic is the Colts going to play in Berlin.
Do you know who they're playing?
Nope.
Okay.
Don't start a world war, please.
I swear, that's where my brain's going and I can't get out. Okay. Do-it-yourself projects. All right.
Beginning in 3 and 2 and 1.
All right, listen, man. I'm not necessarily the biggest handyman, but I did help my roommate put together a grill over the weekend. It was one of those big green eggs, ceramic, really, really hard to do. Took me about 3 hours to do it, but we finally got it done. First thing going on that big green egg, though, a couple sausages, right? Got a couple sausages going on. And when you think of sausages, Brent, the king, the home country of sausages, we're talking about Germany. And you know who's going to play in Germany? The Indianapolis Colts will be featured in an NFL game in Germany. Not sure who they're playing yet. I'm sure they'll pump some crowd noise in. But when you got beer and sausage, do you really need that crowd noise?
That was good execution.
Good. We almost had brats twice mentioned in the same, and like back to back.
Yep.
Very good.
Man. Yeah.
All right, Brent.
It was so hard not to mention other stuff. Just gonna say that much.
You've had China and Germany so far.
I'm being professional, man. I'm being so professional here.
And AI. Yeah. All right, Brent, your last topic is a wedding registry. And your sports topic is Deontay Johnson being on his 5th team. And finally re-signing with the Ravens yet again yesterday.
Get him.
In 3. And begin.
You know, the wedding registry stuff has really changed. Back in the day when I got married, you fired a little scanner gun and you walked around Macy's and stuff. It was the greatest thing ever. I just asked Hamby about it. He's going to do it. And it's like, no, I just do it online. It takes all the fun out of it. But you do get like 5 of the same thing when you do it your way. You never know who's going to give you what. Well, Deontay Johnson's got 5 different uniforms, too, so he doesn't know which one to wear. Maybe you have 5 different toasters. Just use a different one every day for your English muffins.
I love it.
Oh, man.
So much fun.
By the way, my mind goes to a lot of different places when you start saying these things.
Oh, I know.
You really do have to reel it back in because it can be dangerous.
Dude,
the first time we played this game, I didn't think it was as dangerous as this time.
Yeah, who you telling? It's hard, man. It's hard on the spot. Man.
Did I see something like Deontay Johnson, whenever he ends up, like somebody could get a pick out of the deal?
The Ravens could
That's
get a
why the
pick.
Ravens picked him back up again, more than likely. It's because they can get like a
what's
pick.
the process of that?
I have no
To
idea.
get what? To get that compensatory pick if somebody else signs him? Like, why do they get a pick? I guess.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
didn't
a good
read
call.
though. I saw
I didn't read
the
it.
headline.
Yeah.
But Ravens pick for Deontay. Now I want to know.
I'm not going to lie. I saw this on Twitter, and it was Deontay Johnson, so I didn't care because, fantasy implications. So I'm like, I'm not going to read the article.
Let me just let me see why, because it does say it could yield a pick, and claimed by the Ravens draft. It was announced Wednesday. Johnson was officially moved. So by claiming him, the Ravens will have a chance at earning a compensatory selection for the 26th draft, depending on the contract Johnson signs in free agency. Okay, I thought that's what it was.
Yeah,
but I mean, how big of a contract is he going to sign in free agency?
Yeah, nonetheless.
To land a pick. Like, that's an interesting twist on a story.
Yeah.
Is anybody taking a chance on him? What happened to him?
He's lost more money than anybody in the last 12 months, probably.
I saw somebody say, I was like,
0 sense.
I saw somebody say this, and it might be true. If the Pittsburgh Steelers can't deal with you, then nobody else should pick them up.
It's a good point.
Think about some of the guys
That's
they've let
a tall
go.
sign.
Antonio Brown, and I don't want to put Le'Veon Bell in the category, but the bottom line is they didn't come to an agreement with him, and then he moves on.
Bro, they're sticking with Pickens.
And they are for now.
Mm-hmm.
They are for now. That is an interesting deal what they've had at wide receiver.
Who
over
was
the years.
Claypool? Chase Claypool.
Chase Claypool. Another one.
Was he rookie? He wasn't rookie of the year, but
That was his good year. It was his rookie year.
What happens in Pittsburgh?
He wanted to do a little celebration instead of getting on the ball.
Oh, that's right.
And that
was the whole, remember what happened with him?
I don't remember that.
So they had to spike the ball, and he was too busy celebrating getting a first down. It cost him the game.
Like they couldn't get the playoff.
Yeah.
He caught it with like 10 seconds to go, was tackled with like 8 seconds to go, got up with the ball in hand.
Everyone's on the line of scrimmage ready to spike the ball, and
They
he's
can't set
like
the ball.
taunting.
Game expires.
Yeah.
Wow. Because Antonio Brown started before he got super crazy. Antonio Brown was like those of you doing TikToks in the locker room and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So that wasn't Claypool. But man, it's just interesting. They've had some stuff go on there in Pittsburgh. It's a bad trend.
Yeah.
At times. Hey, I thought we could potentially. There's an opportunity here down the road where we can open this up to the listeners and viewers.
Oh, make them
Segway
do it?
game.
Make them do it. I like it. Or
Right?
go pit us against each other. I like
or
it.
so we give a topic early in the week, and we'll collect the recorded, Segway game.
Yeah.
And then play some of the best ones.
I like it, man.
How about that?
That'll
so
work.
Speaking of some interaction, we're making a big box for the envelope game. So tomorrow,
you say we, is Lib doing it?
Liv is, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm paying for it.
Oh, okay. Well, then, you're doing it.
So I'm trying. I was trying to I don't know where you could buy a box that's almost life sized.
Yeah,
but I don't think you can go to the FedEx store or whatever.
Are we getting that many predictions?
Who cares? I just thought it'd be kind of fun.
That's true.
The bigger the better.
I like it.
But I don't know if we'll get a big one. But I also don't want this little third grade Valentine's box.
Yeah. As my second grade art teacher used to always say, if you have a chance, make it big, bold, and beautiful.
There we go.
The
So let's
Bs.
do that. And so here's the deal on the envelope game. Very simple. Tomorrow, you guys think about it. Tomorrow in the chat, I guess the only way I'm going to have to do this is I won't get in trouble putting our email out there, right? sports@actionnewsjax.com. Simple enough.
Yeah.
You can find it on the website, so it's not like I'm telling you anything you don't know. And then you send them to me, or us your submission, and then I'll put them in an envelope. So you don't have to like send us the envelope, all right? So I'll put it in an envelope, your name, and or Liv will. We'll drop it in the box, and then the rules are going to be the rules. Okay. We're not undoing the envelopes when a guy goes off the board.
Okay.
We're waiting until the end.
Okay.
We're not opening the envelope box or the envelope until the end. Fair?
We're going to milk this for all it's worth.
So the question is, do you think we're at a good time where we can put ours in tomorrow as well? Like we know the 10 interviews. The only thing that changes is if somebody else, like Kingsbury or something like that, or McCarthy, they add to the list. So you have to wrestle with that. And by the way, you can put that in the envelope if you think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's the game. Participate if you want.
Okay.
There'll be a prize for the winner. The problem, one of these problems we're going to have to figure out is there will be multiple winners.
Of course.
But I got hats and shirts and things like that. And then maybe we'll pick another one out for like the grand prize winner. Mm-hmm. Whatever that entails.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to be like thorough and you only wanted one winner, you could say you got to name the coordinators as well. But I mean,
I don't want all that.
Okay, got you.
That sounds like work.
Oh, okay.
So anyway,
20 grand prize winners. Let's go.
Send them starting tomorrow. I would say, how about through the weekend?
Okay.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
When do we have to cut it off? Like, are you guys okay? Because they can do second round interviews starting, I think, on Monday in person.
So that would be an advantage.
Well, that's going to be a big tell.
That would be an advantage.
So I said we got to cut it off Monday.
Like, I really feel like you should try to get them in by tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? So let's just, like a 2-day window. All you have to do is email us, or even, like, we could do it in the chat. If you want to put it in the chat here as well, you can.
Yep.
But you got to have to give us a heads up because I don't want to miss anybody. Mm-hmm. So it's way easier if you just email sports@actionnewsjax.com.
Yep.
Oh, you did that fast.
Hamby said, forget the 4K. We're going back to digital dial-up with the picture.
I was just impressed he did that so fast.
That is pretty impressive.
So sports@actionnewsjax.com. Email the name. You put your name, please, as well, because there's some funky emails. Sure. So I don't know how to determine it.
Yes.
But
put your name and your Twitter handle or your YouTube username. So if you go by that, we'll also recognize
Good idea.
Hamby.
So we want to be able to identify you. Mm-hmm. And then obviously the name of the coach.
Yep.
One name. That's it. It's just simple. I wouldn't advise putting Nathaniel Hackett. But we'll put ours in as well. All right, that's the game. That's easy, right?
Yeah,
envelope
absolutely.
Game's easy.
I like
it's really not that hard.
No.
But I just wanted to make it clear that
name.
I will put them in the envelope for everybody.
Yes.
And then we'll drop it in the box.
And then we will make sure that we milk this as long as we can. Even though if your coach maybe got hired already by another team, we're going to milk this out until we can.
Well, we're just not going to open the envelopes. How would we do that?
That's what I'm saying.
Right? We would have to.
Well, no, we're trying to stay true to the true meaning of the game, which was you putting Hackett in an envelope and then
Is there anybody else we should put on the box? I've got Shad, Trent Baalke, and Nathaniel Hackett images. Anybody else?
I like this.
In honor of them? I don't want to make it too personal. I don't have to put my face on there. My face is right here.
I thought about that. You don't put Lamping on there? No? He doesn't. Okay. Tony?
Which one?
Nah.
No, Tony?
Nah, I think Shad.
Tony or Tony?
Like, we're thinking about taking it like...
The Tonys?
We're actually thinking about putting, and Liv came up with a good idea, putting Velcro on the faces.
Yeah.
That way we can take Baalke off if he gets fired. Or retires.
I like it.
We're just planning ahead. No disrespect.
No.
Haven't had a Venmo payment in a while.
There it is. Get him, Brent.
We'll take a break.
He can't be bought anymore.
Hey, we're having some fun on the day. Liv actually will stop by in just a bit on the Brent Austen Show on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to Spring Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops,
Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
'24 provided plenty of memorable moments for the Jacksonville Armada on the pitch, including another conference championship game appearance for Tommy Krasanovich's under-23 men's team.
Is it in the dying moments?
Debuting this year for the first time, the girls in blue as the Armada fielded a women's under-23 side in the WPSL and made its presence known with some highlight moments.
Potential goal of the season.
Then attention turned to the future, with MLS Next teams representing the Armada badge in 3 age divisions this fall, including an under-19 squad ranking among the best in the state. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Right now, save 10% off a new Rinnai tankless water heater. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Here on Spring Sports Media Day on Action Sports Jax.
It's an opportunity, an education beyond the classroom and the sports arena. Life skills, testing skills, social skills. It's called High School 912, a program focused on maximizing the growth of students in academics, sports, and life. And here's your chance to get involved. If you're a local business, or if you just want to make a donation to help support programs like ACT and SAT boot camps, career days, Leadership Academy, Financial Literacy Academy, and so much more.
Another Nice High School Panther, Jack Cole.
High School 912 supports and hosts high school sporting events and several media days throughout the year. For more information on how you can get involved, visit jaxhighschool912.com.
Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Yeah! Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Liam Coen, the latest interview for the Jaguars. Again, if you're just jumping in, the schedule is starting to get played out for the Jags, at least reportedly, which I think are good reports from everything I understand as well. Tonight's Todd Monken. That will be number 7. Then you have Flores and Kellen Moore tomorrow, I believe it is. And then Brady on Saturday. So that'd be 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom. Done. I shouldn't say done. I don't know if that means they're done. They could also add more. There's not a time crunch here for the Jacksonville Jaguars, it doesn't seem. If you had to guess, actually, that'd be a good way to say it. Who's the next domino to fall? Because if you take the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
It's a very quiet search right now. The only guy they've actually requested is Kellen Moore. But they're also the latest one to make their change. So it was the last job open. Who falls first?
What team or what coach? What team?
Is it easier to decide which team or which coach?
Well, I think it's which coach.
So the domino is Ben Johnson?
Ben Johnson, yeah. Either he decides to stay or he goes someplace, then everything starts
to trickle down?
Correct.
Okay, so then team.
I mean, it's so hard to say, Brent.
Well, then if you think it's Ben Johnson, that means you're naming the team. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree that Ben Johnson's the domino that everybody's going to wait on. I do think there are 3 teams waiting on him. I get that. But that also, like, you could sneaky have the Saints come in here and be like, Aaron Glenn, boom.
Sure.
We want that guy. Like, we know we want him.
Yeah.
Or Mike McCarthy or something like that. Somebody that's...
Bears and Mike McCarthy could make some sense.
It could. It's just like the Bears process is so thorough, I don't feel like it's coming up anytime soon, much like the Jags and the Jets.
Yeah.
So they're interviewing so many people, they still have to get through like the blood testing of all these guys. I mean, it's crazy.
I know.
I had one person say, I was like, I mean, these guys are interviewing 20 people, so it's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, that was the thought process.
Yeah.
That's a thought process a little bit from some in the league. It's like there's no need for that.
But do you think like something has to do with like, is it possible you get a coordinator out of it?
Oh, well, I think I can make sense out of all these things.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was interesting to say, do you really need that much information?
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, do these guys have a life?
Yeah.
They're doing interviews for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Again, we have the envelope game going tomorrow. Let's bring in Olivia Tassley with Action Sports Jax. That's one of your assignments today, Liv, right?
Do you want me to turn the camera a little bit?
Do I need to be like...
I don't...
No, you just need to move your chair closer. Come on. You can do this.
I had to move farther away.
Or closer, far away, whatever.
Hamby, how we looking, man?
So Liv's been doing some artwork.
Okay. Yep.
You have no idea.
We got this.
The trash talk I got yesterday from cutting those out at my desk.
Oh, wow.
I know.
You get trash talk from those guys all the time anyway. But
well, that too.
And then there's this.
We got a lot.
And so
I'll be printing out like my fedora girl doing some...
There's a fedora girl, too.
Yeah, our cartoon from the fedora.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be part of the game?
Yeah, because originally, before Austin came up with Liv's list, it was
extensive
Live,
hours
Laugh,
of research.
Love.
Which I like a lot, too, though.
We still like Live, Laugh, Love.
Yeah, but Live isn't obviously my name, so you're going to hold up, like, the Live emoji.
But we want to know, these guys shed light on this today.
Okay.
They said if you go to Hobby Lobby, that's what every like female person in the world has: live, laugh,
I know,
love.
which
True.
And
So
honestly,
did you plagiarize
I hate
is
that
really
cliche.
the question.
Well, I mean-
really don't like that cliche.
It was every hashtag for a full year.
Listen, man, my mom's got that. Every mom's got it.
Okay.
It's fine. It's not like she's plagiarizing. It's just kind of a...
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Also, it's LIV, so...
It's a good point. A little more
It's
unique.
a play on it.
Little
I like
more
Live,
unique.
Laugh, Love because that's how you get this. The list can be a different part of your game.
Okay.
So today we're not playing the Live, Laugh, Love game yet. We need to add music. We need to get another Live emoji, and we need to figure out how we're actually playing the game.
Take some time.
Yeah.
But we got these ideas floating around, which I kind of like. And so Liv's going to be in charge of the envelope thing too.
Yeah,
A lot of
I
pressure.
heard
How
about
big
that
of a
promotion
box?
today.
How big of a box can we get? Do you think, Liv?
I think you can go to like Home Depot, Lowe's maybe, and get maybe
idea.
those closet ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
How much
like,
is that
it's-
going to run me? You think?
Or just buy like a refrigerator, Brent, then
cardboard
just use the
box?
box.
I do need a new refrigerator.
Yeah, so buy a little refrigerator and then use that box to make it like an envelope thing.
I don't need a refrigerator.
Okay, well, Liv does.
I mean, I do.
I mean, look, double
selfish.
wall, 48 by 40 box, $265.
Better be bulletproof for that place.
I was
be
thinking like $10.
U-Haul large moving box, $285.
$285?
$2.85.
Oh,
That's more like it.
Hey.
Home Depot, you're right, Liv. $3.48.
For like those closet boxes.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
You
I'm not gonna lie.
you just bill me.
Is there like a deflation with boxes? I feel like boxes should have been more expensive than that. Maybe
No,
not.
I feel
The
like
first
that's-
one was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what Uline is. Have you ever heard of that? Uline?
They're everywhere.
It's a business. I don't know what these boxes have inside them.
Well, how much are we talking
Maybe
here,
a
Brent?
refrigerator.
That was the $265 one.
Okay.
Maybe parts of a refrigerator.
That's crazy. It does have a 30-day return.
IKEA
We could use it
refrigerator.
and then return it.
Okay.
There's that. All right, what do you got? Liv's
think-
list. We'll work on
We
the
will
envelope
not be
game.
returning this box.
No, this box will be ours.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to save it for years to come.
Yeah, it's going to be a yearly game, Brent. Well, hopefully not with
Oh.
coaching changes.
Every 3 years.
Oh,
Yeah, I
great.
guess so.
Awesome. Can't wait.
This one's going to go 4 at the least.
Yeah, you're feeling good about this one? Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure. Like this
Because
is
the contract
guaranteed
says it's
through,
gonna be, yeah.
Well, and through the opening of the stadium.
Yeah, there we go. I like it.
If we open the stadium, we're looking for another coach in 2029. I mean, it's never going to happen here in Jacksonville, folks.
Yeah, it's cursed. Start burning some sage.
All right, so what's the list today, Liv?
All right. Well, I'll start with something you might like as a country music fan.
Oh.
Kenny Chesney
Yes?
to Vegas.
Oh, he's residency.
He is now the residency.
How about that?
At the Sphere. The Sphere had a cool welcome
Oh, at the
message.
Sphere?
Oh, no wonder Ben Johnson is so likely to go there now.
Right? Makes a lot of sense.
Oh, he can't get away.
That's it.
Starts after Memorial Day,
Yeah.
is what I'm told, or what I've read.
I've been waiting to see
Go ahead,
something that
man.
I'd like in the Sphere because I haven't been in it. I would probably. I'm not a huge Kenny Chesney. Like I'm not. Like I like Kenny Chesney, but I'm not like I got to go to Kenny Chesney concert.
Sure.
But I would probably do that. I could do
see
that.
you doing that, especially if we play in Vegas again.
Can I be
I mean,
honest?
that won't happen, but
No, actually, it's happening next year.
Yes.
it is happening
The
in
answer is
Vegas.
yes, also.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Why not?
I don't like Kenny because I don't think Kenny Chesney belongs in Las Vegas. Like,
You think he's big enough?
No, I think he's. Listen, man, he's more than big enough. But like to me, Kenny Chesney needs to have like a residency like on like in like Mexico someplace
in Key West.
In Key West, something
Yeah.
like that. Like to me,
That's
Vegas
fair.
doesn't make any sense, man.
Yeah.
and especially like when you want to use like the whole ambiance of the Sphere. Like I feel like that's more tailor made for like DJs or like cool like. What you mean? Kenny Chesney's going to have what
U2
cool
was there.
graphics?
He probably
on
will
there?
really utilize the beachy look
I
with
guess.
Well, so
Yeah.
the welcome message or the announcement was a beach chair getting washed and then like splashed by a wave,
Sure.
and then a guitar showed up on the chair,
Yeah.
and then a cowboy hat
Okay.
showed up on the chair.
Yeah,
so
well-
I
that.
think
Giving you clues, yeah.
And
Yeah.
enjoy that beach ambiance inside the Sphere because when you walk outside in Las Vegas, it's going to be just dry air hitting those nostrils with no water in sight. So cool.
All right,
Not
I
very
like
humid.
it. I like it. I
right.
think I'll be in the Sphere sooner than later.
There you go.
Brent will be going to Vegas again, road trip game.
It makes Hammy doesn't make sense that right? Kenny Chesney in the Sphere makes zero sense.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
not
you.
about it.
I'm going back to Vegas in a couple months, bringing my mom to Garth Brooks before he ends.
Man, I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
we got that for Christmas.
Do we know when that's going to be again? March-ish?
Yeah, it's right around that time.
Okay, I'm not saying that's when we're fighting. I'm just saying,
Oh, there it is. There you go.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty neat.
I thought it was.
It looks like a snow globe
Yeah.
right there.
So here's the chair.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
what kind of chair?
I mean, I can once again.
a
I can
rocking
see
chair.
like EDM, like techno stuff being played.
Let me
I
ask you this:
can't see
could,
Kenny
could you have
Chesney.
not seen because he's very much like of the Jimmy Buffett style? Could you have seen Buffett in the Sphere? Or
No, absolutely
So
not.
you would not have. All right, I get
No.
your point.
I feel like Buffett's more made for like like I said, like West Palm or
Yeah,
something.
I get your point.
Yeah. Okay.
What else you got, Liv?
Okay. All right. This is all for the Bachelor Nation.
Oh boy.
Oh, locked in.
Another breakup already happening.
Okay.
Matt James. I forgot the girl's name already.
Yeah.
Shows how much
Not
I pay
important.
attention
Not
to the
important though, huh?
Bachelor. He was
Make
the
it up.
Bachelor. He was the first African American Bachelor, and they are broken up after 4 years.
4
Okay.
years.
4 years.
Impressive.
Solid. That's solid.
What is the record? Is that original one still? Because there's one that made it, right? Or have they been?
I
now
feel like
out?
all of them end up breaking up.
What a joke
Really?
of a society.
That's really surprising that they end up breaking up, considering they met on like an island where everything's like
Perfect.
the $1 million life for
Yeah.
4 weeks. Fell in love with multiple people because that's normal in a 4-week span. And then they couldn't keep the relationship
And then
together.
reality hits.
It's really stunning. It's about as stunning as the Jaguars 4-13 record.
With that being announced, I have announced that I will be on 2026's The Bachelor. Kidding.
The first
Kidding.
wrestler Bachelor.
You can do it.
I would do it. I would do it.
You would do
I
it.
would do it all day. Yeah.
I wouldn't touch that
I would
ever.
do it. It'd be
I
fun.
would never.
I get my name out. I'll get the show's name out there a little more. Hey, it's business. It ain't for love, Brent.
I get it.
Like I would go on there and like you'd be able to tell right away. Because, like, I'm not saying I'm picky or anything, but, like, if I go there and the girl, because I would go there as one of the men, right? So it'd be like the bachelorette.
You'd be the bachelor. You want to be the bachelorette?
No, I don't want to be responsible for like 30 other women trying to clamor over me. No, that's too much work.
You want to be
Brent,
the bachelorette.
too much work. You think it sounds cool. That's way too much work. I want to be one of the contestants.
Okay, got it.
And then, like, when you watch me, you can see right away, like, I'll be like, or I'll be like, but I'm still trying to, like, I'm still going to try to win it because that's the point. You got to win it.
You have to win.
I'm competitive.
Or at least get to the, like, final, I would say, like, month.
He'd be on ESPN after that.
Yeah, dude. It'd be the Pat McAfee straight shot to stardom, man.
It would be.
You're
the new, who is it? Jordan, not Jordan Palmer, but.
Yeah.
What's Palmer? Is it Jordan? No. What's a Gator?
Oh, Jesse Palmer?
Jesse Palmer? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I mean, Clay Harbor did it. He's still on Twitter. He ain't on ESPN yet. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
He's still on Twitter.
Yeah, but see, he did it from that. See, Jesse was the Bachelor.
Oh, so you're saying I gotta not
You have
doing
to
that.
be the bachelor.
Clay did it the other way. You
I'm
gotta
too
be
nice.
the Bachelor.
I'm too nice, Brent.
You just keep everybody?
I would keep everybody the whole time. I'm too nice.
You can't
No,
do
you're
that.
not.
There's not enough roses.
Hamby. I mean, yeah, to you maybe because you keep messing up, but like to like, trust me, I'm respectful. I would hate cutting women like that. It'd be hard. It'd be hard. Unless they gave me a reason, then yeah, we'll see.
See, I couldn't be a contestant.
I think they'll give you plenty of reasons.
It's like, but don't they, the first cuts are in like one night, right? So I'm supposed to cut like 10 girls in one night.
It is what it is, man.
Okay.
First impressions,
Yeah.
Just remember why you're there. Pump up the show.
Run a comb through that hair. Sorry, you're out of here. Like, no, I'm not gonna. Yeah, sorry. All right, let's go.
I hope it's a little deeper than that.
Next.
They should do the no holds barred Bachelor. No, that would be fun.
Tell like it is Bachelor.
Yeah, tell them like it is. Like really.
I like it. Like you guys start putting like your political affiliations on there.
Everything, all of it.
Now we're talking.
All of it.
I like that, Brent.
Your hair looks like crap.
I want Brent to go on a type of show like that.
Don't wish that on him.
I would love to see that.
It would never happen.
It would never happen, but
That would never.
Brent would be
honest. I call that that my favorite saying for The Bachelor and Bachelorette is reality prostitution.
That's a good point. That's exactly what it is.
That's what I think it is.
Do you get paid for that, by the way, to go on The Bachelorette?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I think that's why they try. Some of them do sneak in to try to make a name for themselves.
Yeah, well,
that's like the
yeah. You
that's
hear like
the
a bunch
value.
of people like, "Oh, I'm a model," and it's like,
yeah.
Actually, you know what? I do have a real quick. So remember the whole bike thing where the person I said that she works in the ER and like the number one case of like ER visits. Yeah, so
I've
one of
stolen
her
that a couple of times.
Yeah. But you stole it and then you try to pass it off onto me. Like I didn't come up with it.
News story coming soon.
She had a friend that was on Farmer Needs a Wife, and they got like a stipend, like I think like 10 grand.
I was gonna say because like
On Farmer
it's
Needs
a
a Wife.
long time.
Yeah,
what
like
does your
you're
job
away from your
do?
job. Yeah.
I just don't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. But anyway.
I don't know the behind the scenes.
All right, what you got?
One day.
Anything
Liv.
else?
All right. Let's do. I have a whole bunch of stuff. I just wrote down a bunch of random stuff.
Rapid
Lions
fire.
Commanders tickets. Do you know how much the average price of that ticket is
Of Lions Commanders?
this weekend?
I mean, it's pricey, man.
I'll give you a hint here. Lions tickets, even in the regular season, are one of the most priciest in the game this year.
Yeah.
So I would suggest.
You can guess average or lowest.
I mean, I stopped getting emails asking me to go to the games, Brent, because it's so.
Probably.
Yeah. I used to get those emails
I
all
would
the time.
say
Not anymore.
the get-in price of the Lions is against Commanders. Good fan base, Commanders too. I'm going to say $450. That's the get-in price, not the average.
I was gonna say 400 standing room only. Liv, go ahead. Liv, go and give me 500 for standing room only.
I bet the average price is about $825.
What do we got?
All right. So get-in price for Washington Lions is $418.
Woo! We were in the neighborhood.
Brent. Yeah, you got it, Brent.
$418. The average price is $991.
Wasn't bad. $991 to see a Lions Commanders game.
Hey,
Tell somebody.
That's my bank account right there. And
Tell
it's not
somebody
the happy one.
who just went away for a couple of years and fell asleep and came back. At the Lions Commanders, average price to watch them play is $991.
Well, first of all, it'd be why they call the Commanders. But yeah, I hear you, Brent. yeah. Commanders, what? Yeah.
What happened?
Yep.
Yeah, so the Chiefs-Texans is 102 to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Rams-Eagles is 201, and Ravens-Bills is 123.
Okay.
So the Lions-Commanders game is the highest non-Super Bowl game in NFL history.
Wild. I mean, Detroit needs a winner, man.
So the best game of the weekend is Ravens-Bills, and it's like the cheapest game to get in, 123. Did I hear that right?
Texans-Chiefs is 102.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
'cause
Rams-Eagles is
travels
201.
It's close by.
You know what's interesting about like the Chiefs, and we found this out a couple years ago when because Steph and the kids went to, and the price, I forget how much they paid, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't nuts. Like when we went to the AFC Championship game and they went there, those prices were expensive
For sure.
for those tickets, but not bad because I think Chiefs are so dang used to it.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, if I'm going to go, I'll go next week when we host the AFC Championship game.
Spoiled.
Or I'm going to the Super Bowl.
They're spoiled.
You get
yeah.
used to it, so you're like, well, screw the divisional round. That's that's whatever.
Spoiled.
What else you got?
All right, let's do for Austin Gamer.
Yeah, thank you.
Nintendo Switch 2.
So, yeah, it's funny because, like, when I said that Bob Uecker, my dude, was trending, he was trending number 2 behind Switch 2. Behind the Switch 2. Obviously, Switch 2 has... I haven't seen it yet. Have you seen it?
I've seen, yeah, there's a video. If you go to Nintendo Switch America or something, it's bigger. It's all blacked out.
Okay.
It has a stand now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean... I'm sure my son's going to be all over this after he just got this new Oculus headset, which I didn't get him that. So, that's the other parenting thing. Spent a lot of money on that. I'm sure he's going to want the Nintendo Switch 2 now as well. Yeah. So, fantastic. When's it going to drop? Do we know?
I didn't see a drop date.
Okay.
But I saw there's like Mario Kart update or game in there as well.
Brent, can we get a Switch 2 for the studio, please?
How much is it?
You're probably talking about maybe, 500? 400?
How much was the first one?
I mean, we got it like a lot. It's probably like $400, $500. Well, it's Mario Kart.
I'm actually a little surprised the Switch. Like, I thought that was going to be a thing for like a year.
Oh, the Switch?
Yeah, but it's still a thing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's survived the technology world and everything else.
No, you're not wrong, man. Especially because, like, the whole handheld thing, I felt like it was kind of a dying breed, but
like,
the
how
Switch
long
is doing
was
good.
the shelf life of the Game Boy?
Ooh, I still have mine.
Oh, Game Boys
Still
went
have a
hard,
Game Boy?
though.
I still have my Game Boy.
My son was playing my Game Boy for Christmas time when we were back home in Wisconsin.
Really?
I still have mine. Yeah, yeah.
I
Awesome.
don't know if mine works.
Oh, mine still works.
Game Boy was awesome.
Game Boy
it was really cool.
Shit.
But it also, I don't know how long it lasted until the next best stuff came around again.
Yeah.
I thought Switch would be a little bit like that, and maybe we're still too new in the Switch world.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like, it makes you appreciate the modern marvels that is said Game Boy, because like you went from the Game Boy 1 where it's like black and white, where hey, if it's dark out, you have to go to sleep, have fun trying to play it, and then all of a sudden, what, Game Boy Color a couple years later, but we have like the iPhone 27, and it's literally the same thing as the iPhone 8. Like, I got my new phone, nothing's changed. Nothing is. I have another camera. That's about it.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
By the way, it looks like about 400, 450. The initial Nintendo Switch launched at 300.
Okay.
Back in the day, I think I just read. Cool. If that website was correct.
Thank you, Liv, keeping me
Christmas gifts.
in tuned.
Maybe birthday.
My son's birthday.
All right, we only got a couple minutes to go. What you got?
All right, what else do we want to talk about?
Registry. I'll jump in.
Registry? Okay.
What does Hamby have to have on his registry?
Oh, me?
Oh,
like,
yeah. What do you
am
think?
I answering? Oh, what do you have?
If you were
to have?
marrying Hamby,
Liv, you're a homeowner now. You're right.
Yeah, so I'm actually in the talks of getting my kitchen renovated. So I want new appliances.
Okay.
And so that's on the birthday list.
Are we talking blenders, bread makers, ovens?
I'm talking oven. I'm talking fridge. I already have a new microwave. I need a new dishwasher.
We going to have
okay,
an oven, Brent?
You're not getting dishwashers on your wedding ring.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah.
Like you need toaster. You need. Are you getting an espresso machine?
Ooh, an espresso machine.
Or like knives.
Somebody bought
a
us
nice
knives.
coffee maker. I want to have like a built-in
Cutlery,
coffee bar,
yeah.
so that would be great.
I got a honeymoon fund on there.
See, I told him, I was like, make it a honeymoon fund.
Honeymoon fund.
Maybe
That's
I should.
what I
Maybe I
told
should
him the other
tweet
day. I
this
also told
out.
them bikes.
Do the
Maybe I'll tweet this out.
Aren't
for
the
viewers.
in-laws responsible for the honeymoon? No.
No,
Is that your responsibility?
I am.
That's usually the guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lucked out.
You didn't pay for the honeymoon?
We never went on a honeymoon.
Oh, that's smart.
Whoa, we're supposed to go to Bonnaroo, but then I had my fight against Greg Hardy. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
That one.
Huh?
Save money.
I definitely did. And then her parents got us a cruise, it's a cruise, so didn't go with that either. I don't do cruises.
You don't do cruises? Oh,
So what'd you do with the ticket?
This was like right after. This was like COVID times,
I
and I'm
don't
not.
care.
I saw too many news reports of people getting stranded on those cruises, and I didn't want to be stranded with a bunch of strangers I didn't know from different countries, hanging out for like 2 months straight. We're good.
Listen, I don't want to. Thanks, Liv. Liv's list. We got Live, Laugh, Love coming up probably next week as well.
Looking forward to that.
So we got some more gameplay. We got the envelope game tomorrow. Get it in. Sports at actionnewsjax.com. Also, Mike Malarkey will join the show tomorrow. I'll be at UNF tonight. We've got the Ospreys playing Central Arkansas. You can watch that and listen to it on ESPN Plus. Come on out to UNF Arena tonight and Saturday at 2 o'clock for a couple home games. JU plays as well tonight in town and Saturday. There is some not so great news about, and I hate to end the show like this, but we're going to keep an eye on a story. Colin Hurley has been in an accident in Baton Rouge, it looks like. And the story is he was found unresponsive. We don't know the latest. It's a young man that played at Trinity Christian. We followed his high school career. He was a high-profile quarterback and is at LSU. So we'll hopefully get more information on this story and obviously thinking and praying and everybody else for his family and all his friends and family and him specifically to see where that ends up. We just don't have a lot of information at the time, but that's the report out of Louisiana. We'll continue to keep an eye on the coaching search as well. Still more to come throughout the day with Action Sports Jax here on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network and on CBS 47 and Fox 30 as well. Have a good day, everybody. If you need a quality play this football season at your home, call That One Painter First Coast. Locally owned and operated, experienced employees, no builder-grade materials. And there's more, and for that, we throw it to Noah Schlicksup. That One Painter First Coast can apparently help your kicking game, too.
Well, after my failure on skinny sticks last year on Creekside game day, I've spent a lot of time out here at Creekside practicing my kicks. There's only one issue. How is that even possible? The good news is I know exactly who can help. That One Painter can handle all your painting needs, from field goal posts to cabinets to stucco. They got you covered. Though they may not be able to help with my kicking, they can certainly help with the posts. Call That One Painter First Coast today for all your painting needs at 904-495-1373.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Burgers or breakfast, you can get it all at Whataburger. Try something new on the menu or an all-time favorite like the Whataburger Patty Melt.
And now you can have breakfast here at Whataburger 12 hours a day, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. Menu items like the bacon taquito, sausage taquito, honey butter chicken biscuit. Whether you work the late night shift, just want a snack early in the morning to get your day started, or a little pick-me-up late in the morning, 12 hours a day, breakfast served, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m.
A dozen locations in Jacksonville. You can order pickup or delivery and download the Whataburger app. New rewards members get free Whataburger items when placing their first online order. Just download the app. And for us coffee drinkers, Whataburger has all new hot coffee and iced coffee too. Satisfy that coffee craving at Whataburger 24/7, and it comes in a variety of flavors. Burgers, breakfast, coffee, and so much more. Whataburger, just like you like it.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jag Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue.